This is Sammy Smith.
Sammy Smith leads up the back straightaway for the final time.
The following is a production of the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
A triple-header weekend of playoff racing at Talladega Superspeedway continues today with the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The playoffs opened 1 week ago in Kansas and saw the leaderboard turned on its head. An early exit for points leader Justin Allgaier has led him to entering what many call the wild card of the playoffs, below the cut line. However, if Allgaier could score his first ever win at Talladega, that would erase the disappointment of Kansas. There's another playoff driver who's looking to replicate his success at this track from the spring.
Jesse Love tries to block. They come to the inside. 3 wide. Now 4 wide. They're crashing. Joey Gase gets turned. Checkered flag is in the air. And Jesse Love gets his first career NASCAR Xfinity Series win.
That victory was the first in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for Jesse Love, and it locked him into the playoffs. If he can do the same today, it will lock him into the round of 8. 250 miles stand between 38 drivers in the playoff picture becoming a little bit clearer. The United Rentals 250 is next.
NASCAR Live Race Day is brought to you by Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com.
Race number 2 in the round of 12 as the playoffs continue here this afternoon. Welcome to Talladega Superspeedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. This afternoon it is the United Rentals 250, 94 laps, 250 miles, 38 race teams ready to take on this 2.66 mile racetrack. Live on the Motor Racing Network, my name is Jeff Striegel, alongside as always Alex Hayden and a championship winning crew chief Todd Gordon from the Barney Hall broadcast booth. And Alex, we start this race in the middle of the round of 12 with Kansas last week, Talladega today, the Roval in Charlotte next weekend. What can we expect here this afternoon?
Easily said, the unexpected. You have to have that on your mindset. Coming to Talladega Superspeedway when the green flag flies, but you have a good fast race car, you have some good pit stops out there, and try to avoid any kind of trouble you could possibly avoid coming to the checkered flag, and you got yourself a chance to have success here. Heck, when you look at it, 5 of the last 10 Talladega winners got their first ever Xfinity Series win. When you think about April, it was Jesse Love. Brandon Brown did it in 2021. Jeff Burton also in 21, Justin Haley in 2020, and Spencer Gallagher in 2018.
All right, so how do you predict this race, crew chief Todd Gordon? You've been here, you've done this. It probably makes you pull your hair out when you get here, but it is Talladega. You've got to figure out a way to accomplish a tall task, and that's finish this race and hopefully go to victory lane.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those that you have to figure out where you want to be on the balance of just raw speed or having a car that can take a push when it gets it. That's the things that we had Drew Billikensterfer talk about it in the broadcast for a qualifying show. Just trying to get a car that somebody can work with you. You can't engage and stay engaged in these cars. They can only bump. They can't stay engaged. But if you can take that bump securely, guys will continue to give it to you. Those are the things I think we'll look for out of cars today.
All the drivers getting ready to be introduced to this big crowd on hand here at Talladega on a sun-drenched day. They begin to huddle up behind the main stage down there in front of the grandstands. We'll hear from some of the starters when we come back.
And he'll be starting today, driving the number 16 Morris Shea Bridge Company Incorporated Chevrolet from Los Gatos, California, A.J. Allmendinger. Making his 9th appearance in the Xfinity Series playoffs, he will roll off 14th today and is currently ninth in the playoff standings, driving the number 7 brand trademark nitrogen Chevrolet from Riverton, Illinois, Justin Allgaier. His victory in Indianapolis secured his spot for this year's playoffs. He sits 8th in the playoff standings. Starting today and driving the number 98 Monster Energy Ford from Las Vegas, Nevada, Riley Herbst.
From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
12 with his win right here at Talladega, making his first Xfinity Series playoff appearance in his rookie season. And he's sitting on the pole today, driving the number 2 in the playoff standings. Starting 8th today, driving the number 97 WeatherTech Chevrolet from Auckland, New Zealand, Shane Van Gisbergen. He is 5th in the playoff standings, making his second playoff appearance and starting 4th today. Driving the number 18 Friends of Jackson Foundation Toyota from Alpine, California, Sheldon Creed. Making his 3rd consecutive playoff appearance, starting 12th today. He's 4th in the playoff standings. Driving the number 1.
The Motor Racing Network and Ally Bank have partnered to honor women in motorsports. This week, we highlight 2024 NASCAR Hall of Fame Landmark Award recipient Janet Guthrie for her contributions in motorsports.
Back then, there was nothing more fun than a slingshot pass where you were drafting a car, dropped back a bit, and then ran up into its wake and used the extra speed to go out and around. I don't think they do that anymore. The sport has changed almost beyond recognition. I would have had a hard time using a spotter, especially since a lot of the time the radios didn't work anyway. What I used instead was a special mirror that provided a complete view of anyone behind me.
The Motor Racing Network honoring women in motorsports was brought to you by Ally Bank. No matter what you are saving for, whether it be race tickets, a car, or a new home, you need the bank that's your ally. Ally Bank, member FDIC.
Thank you, Susie Armstrong. Janet Guthrie, what a pioneer, not only in NASCAR, but other forms of motorsports. An aerospace engineer by trade, and privileged to have her be a part of the sport of NASCAR racing.
Yeah, that's for sure, Alex. We're going to get you downstairs and hear from some of the drivers before we put them under the green flag. That coming up in just a moment. Right now, let's remind you of the 12 drivers that are racing for a championship, and I don't know that we can refer to any of them as being comfortable, but at the top of the list is Cole Custer.
Yeah, he gained 20 points last week at Kansas Speedway by virtue of his finish and solid strategy as far as the stages go. Chandler Smith is 36 points to the good in second. Austin Hill plus 26 points. Sam Mayer plus 13. Sheldon Creed gained 13 points. He started last week at Kansas below the cut line, finished at the checkered flag, 10 points to the good. Shane Van Gisbergen plus 8. Jesse Love plus 3. And Riley Herbst plus 1.
So then you look at the drivers below the cut line coming into Talladega. Justin Allgaier is right there. Down 1 to the cut line. A.J. Allmendinger down 13. Parker Kligerman down 15. And Sammy Smith right now sits 12th on the playoff grid. He's down 23 coming into Talladega.
So much can change by virtue of earning stage points here today. Stage 1 is 25 laps in length. We'll go another 25 laps to lap 50 to wrap up stage number 2.
Well, this is the second race in the first round of the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs, and here is the current leaderboard heading into this race this afternoon. Cole Custer, of course, the reigning Xfinity Series champion, at the top of the playoff standings right now, plus 41 of
Sheldon Creed leads all drivers in the Xfinity Series this year with top 5 finishes. He's got 14 of those. 6 of his 14 top 5s were second places. Top 10s, well, they're led by Cole Custer. He's got 19 top 10 finishes. From Talladega Super Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Car 18 plus 10. Shane Van Gisbergen plus 8. Jesse Love and Riley Herbst. The rest of the cars above the elimination line. Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, clear the ball field at this time. We're getting ready to go racing here, so we ask you to please make your way to your seats so we can get the cars on the racetrack. Again, once again, clear the ball field, clear pit road, make your way to your seats so we may be able to get this race underway. Just to wrap up that playoff grid, those 4 drivers that are currently below the cut line right now, Justin Allgaier, A.J. Allmendinger, Parker Kligerman, and Sammy Smith. Those 4 drivers on the outside looking in. Let's hear from Brennan Poole.
Well, this is the kind of racetrack that I already know without asking. Brennan Poole knows his way around. Super speedway racing, you need a little luck, but there's also something about a rhythm that you can get in. How do you feel about this kind of racing?
Yeah, it's just tough, but Talladega's been really good to me over the years. I've certainly loved and hated at times. I've been from, winning the race and 20 minutes later not winning the race, so we're leading up the final corner.
Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway. As promised, we'll hear from some of the drivers now before they climb aboard their race cars to go racing here at Talladega Super Speedway. Young Carson Kvapil, what a year it's been for him, driving in a late model around the Southeast. He's won a lot of races there. Just picked up a big win at the Valley Star Credit Union 300 at the Martinsville Speedway. But Steve Post's got other things on his mind today.
What a week for Carson Kvapil, the biggest late model race, the Valley Star Credit Union 300. You knocked that off, won the grandfather clock Saturday night in Martinsville, and this week it was announced a full-time campaign for Junior Motorsports, driving that #1 car. Carson, how do you even process how good this week was?
I really haven't got to yet, honestly. It's just been, after Martinsville, going into here at Talladega, it's just kind of been a wide open, just trying to prepare the best we can. And we've been working in the shop on the late model for the last few days, getting that thing fixed up for Martinsville, but I've really had to switch over, I guess you'd say, and focus on coming to Dega and executing best I can and just trying to figure it out and learn along the way.
Figure out and learn. What types of things do you expect you're going to learn here with this unique style of racing at Talladega, and what would make it a good day to come out of here with this learning process?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that I guess I'm freaking out about, but it probably won't be that bad once I'm in the race car and making laps. So I'm just going to try to use it first a little bit. It's just figuring it out type of deal, and hopefully towards the end I feel comfortable with the car and the car's under me good, and we can kind of hopefully contend for a win if we're still there, and either way just trying to get as much experience as we can for next season.
That's Carson Kvapil. He says next season because it is going to be a full-time campaign. The youngster doing a great job here for Junior Motorsports, and he will go full-time next year. Starting here, mid-pack here today at Talladega Superspeedway.
Maiden voyage here at Talladega for Carson, not the same for a couple of drivers below the cut line in playoffs. Let's start first with A.J. Allmendinger. He is outside by 13, Jason Toy, but if he can do what he did here back in 2022, all things will be good. He won on that day. He wants to win here this afternoon. A.J. Allmendinger will start 5th, and he's with Jason Toy of Barboursville, West Virginia.
Well, Jeff Striegel has talked to A.J. Allmendinger as he walks his way towards his car, and down below that line you got a good series of tracks here, and then of course next week at the Roval. You've been able to find victory lane here before. What do you got to do today to get it done?
Just try to be there at the end, really. I mean, it's the way this racing is, and at the end of the day, I always say here, there's always a great chance of being in the big one. I just don't want to be the cause of it. So I've been on both ends. I've been the cause of it, and I've been in it. So we're just going to try to keep this more Chevy up front. Do all we can, and hopefully we're there at the end.
So what's the big priority here? Try to get as much stage points as you can, survival at the end. Obviously, that's one thing of it, but to go for the victory, that'll cure everything to go on to the next round.
Win gets you in, and you know, it's I hate saying this, but the way I've been on the road courses this year, for whatever reason, probably got a better chance to win this weekend than I do next weekend. So I got to race like that, and that's the plan.
All right, he's running the win. A.J. Allmendinger getting ready to start things off here at Talladega. He will roll things from the 5th spot.
He will. Allmendinger, one of the hardest guys on himself, but that's also what drives him to continue to be better week in and week out. Young Sammy Smith is ready to go racing here today. race. Sammy, however, 23 points down on the playoff bridge. He needs to climb the leaderboard on the playoffs. That means he's going to have to score some points and maybe even a win. Let's hear from Sammy Smith. He's with Dylan Welch from Carmel, Indiana.
Yeah, not only does he need to climb the playoff points leaderboard, he just needs to climb the leaderboard today on the racetrack, starting 27th, Sammy. So what options are available for you to just not only gain points yourself, but gain points on others as you try to close that gap?
Yeah, it's going to be tough today. I think be aggressive. Obviously, we didn't qualify where we expected to, but I think we have a lot of handling in the car, and hopefully that helps us with how hot it is. And it's kind of unknown of what the race is going to be like, if it's going to be chaos or if it's going to be pretty easy single file riding these first couple stages. So we'll see, and hopefully we can get up to the front and get solid stage points.
All right, we'll keep an eye on Sammy Smith as he tries to close that playoff gap and also advance through the field, Steve.
Parker Kligerman starts in the 6th spot down here, getting some pictures made with some friends, some sponsors, some folks down here as he will roll off from position number 6 here. Always good to catch up with Parker and get the pictures made here. Parker processing Talladega, 15 points below the cut line, starting in the 6th spot. How do you put in the blender and pull this all apart?
Man, you know how it is. We just got to go do what we've done at these super speedways, and that, most importantly, like we did at the summer Daytona race, score top 5 stage points in both stages. That gives you the leeway to be more aggressive in stage 3. We got to go after it. Some of my team has said, bring back the trophy to the steering wheel. I don't know if we quite have to do that, but you know, this is a big opportunity for us. We've been so close to these things. I love Talladega. I love everything about it. I love the track. I love the party in the infield. We got a great group here. Scott Borchetta's here, our owner. So hopefully we can get this Spike Cooler Chevy up front and keep it there.
See what happens with it, that's for sure. That's Parker Kligerman, a 2-time Truck Series winner here at Talladega Super Speedway. Jason?
Well, the man that will lead us to the green flag today will be Jesse Love, as he'll start things on the front row. His teammate will be on the outside. Richard Childress, his owner, is down here too. Congratulations on the pole. You've done the hard part. Now you got to stay, or the easy part. Now the hard part, you got to stay up there. What's it going to take?
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be smart all day. High calculated decisions, right? I think of these races like a chessboard. There's, at some points, you know, 30 moves you can make, right? But there's really only one right move. So, you know, today, gotta listen to my spotter, be smart, keep ourselves out of trouble, right? But to be in it, you gotta be flirting with it. So just gonna go try to be smart today and see what we can do.
All right, trying to get points, stay out front. That's gonna be Jesse Love. He'll lead us to the green flag here at Talladega. Dylan?
Sheldon Creed starts in the 4th spot, and teammates are always important here, but you're racing a couple of your teammates for points and an owner's championship in one case. How do you guys all take care of yourselves today, but also work together as a team?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be next to teammates, and obviously those RCR cars are fast right in front of us. So today's all about scoring points for us and staying up towards the front, hopefully not getting crashes, and have a shot at winning. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we have a teammate next to us. Obviously we both need points so we can help each other get there, and when it comes to the last lap, all gloves are off and we can go for a win.
All right, Sheldon Creed starts 4th today. He's 10 above the playoff cut line right now, Steve.
Austin Hill starts in position number 2 down here. Every time we go to Daytona, seems like he wins. Every time we go to Talladega, it's a little bit different. Austin, what do you need to do here today to finally compete for a win here at Talladega Super Speedway?
Honestly, I think just do the same stuff we always do. It just hasn't worked out at Talladega. I mean, that's how these super speedway races play out sometimes. Is Daytona's been so good to me, Atlanta's been so good to me, but a place like Talladega just hasn't went our way. There's been plenty of times that we've came to 2 to go and about to take the white and we're leading the race. That actually happened earlier in the year when my teammate ended up winning and ended up wrecked getting into turn 3 coming back to the white. So yeah, I mean, I'd say that we run up front just like we do anywhere else on the super speedways. It just this track hasn't worked out for us. So maybe today's the day, maybe it's not, but hopefully we can get out of here with a decent finish. Even if we don't win, we just need to get stage points, stay up front all day, and just come out of here with a solid finish going into the Roval.
Austin Hill, he starts 2nd here this afternoon.
No, he and Shane Van Gisbergen lead all drivers at the Xfinity Series level with 3 wins apiece, Alex. And for Austin, all 3 came on drafting tracks. Shane Van Gisbergen, all 3 came on road courses.
Yeah, they're specialized wins, I guess you can put it. They would both love to win in different disciplines of racetracks, but you got to do what you got to do into your strengths, and Austin Hill certainly has been strong. He's led a ton of laps here at the Talladega Super Speedway, has Austin Hill, and to his credit, he understands you're going to have good days and bad days, and sometimes when you're at a drafting track, you're going to have them going half mad days.
Yeah, that's for sure. and it can happen right here in a hurry. The last 10 races at Talladega Superspeedway at this level have been won by Chevrolets, and Austin Hill is in one of those. Right now, let's take it trackside as we get ready for today's event. Pre-race ceremonies are on deck.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as you are able, remove your hats, and veterans render a hand salute as Rio Beth High School Navy Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer today's invocation, please welcome Talladega Superspeedway Emergency Services Communications Supervisor, Reverend Jeff Sauls.
Let's pray. Father in heaven, Jehovah God, we just thank you for the beautiful day that you provided to us. Father, we ask today, as you provided safety for everyone to come today, that you'll do that again during this race. Protect the race driver, their teams, Father, the track services workers as they respond to calls on this track. Lord, we just thank you for that. We praise you for who you are, Lord. We want to lift up, Lord, the people that are been affected by the hurricane. May you restore their property soon. May you provide relief for them quickly. Lord, we love you. We thank you through your Son, Jesus Christ, as we all come together to say amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome Talladega Superspeedway's very own Tanner Johnston.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
With 3 military helicopters passing by overhead, famous Johnny Ray semi-truck with the giant American flag goes racing by the grandstands. Drivers all take a peek at that. Now they'll slide into the cockpit of their race cars. The NASCAR Xfinity Series is next.
NASCAR Live Race Day has been brought to you by Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com.
All right, well that was spectacular. Now this is my almost my favorite part of race day. My first favorite part is when we go green flag racing, but right now is the 5-minute warning, and I love it because it means we're getting close. The drivers climb into the car, they give a thumbs up, and they say, I'm ready to go to work. They check the instruments, they put the helmets on, and then it's time for the show. So you'll see right now, guys, a little 5-minute window to clear the grid, and then we're going racing.
From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Live on the Motor Racing Network, it's the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Let's get a big thumbs up. Get ready to rock and roll past the race cars today, pal. Pull boys, let's execute. Have a good day.
Today, the United Rentals 250 from Talladega Superspeedway. Brought to you by United Rentals, official equipment rental partner of NASCAR. By Geico. Geico's mobile app has 24/7 claim service and on-the-go policy info. It's easy to Geico. By Powerball, the official lottery game of NASCAR and home to the NASCAR Powerball Playoff. By Straight Talk Wireless, official partner of NASCAR. Real unlimited data, less dollars, more sense. By Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com. And by Sunoco. From NASCAR to your car, Sunoco Fuel helps your car reach peak performance.
Here at Talladega Superspeedway, the NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers getting set to go. They did qualify earlier today. No practice here at Talladega, but there was one team that struggled to get their car through pre-race technical inspection. As a matter of fact, they were busted for a penalty. More on that in just a second. First, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Motor Racing Network live at Talladega Superspeedway. It is the NASCAR Xfinity Series getting set to fire engines for the United Rentals 250. Along with Todd Gordon and Jeff Striegel, I'm Alex Hayden, high atop the Tri-Oval here at Talladega. In a moment, we'll bring our three turn announcers in. They'll be Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, and Dan Hubbard. We've heard from our three pit lane reporters already. Steve Post from Halstead, Pennsylvania. Jason Toy from Barbersville, West Virginia. And from Carmel, Indiana, Dylan Welch.
Eric Almirola is not racing for a championship, but that team is. The number 20 car is racing for a championship, and Eric drove that car to victory lane just a week ago at Kansas. But a penalty, an infraction. He was penalized during inspection, a windshield violation. He will drop to the rear and perform a pass-through penalty after taking the green. Todd Gordon, that's a big hit.
Yeah, it is, and with these Xfinity cars, it's just something they had to work through. See how they recover today.
They're going to fire engines right now.
Talladega, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Please welcome Senior Superintendent of Robbins and Morton, Noah Johnston.
Drivers, start your engines!
38 Xfinity Series engines come to life down on pit road. Coming up, it's the United Rentals 250. It's next right here on the Motor Racing Network. $25 Chevrolets, 8 Fords, 5 Toyotas ready to go. Quick break. When we come back, we'll have your starting lineup for you. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Now, here's the starting lineup.
Starting in position number 38 will be Cesar Baccarella. Carson Ware will start 37th, 36 to Dylan Lupton. Kyle Weatherman will roll from 35th. Kyle Sieg from 34th. Starting 33rd, Matt DiBenedetto. 32nd will be Ryan Ellis, and Blaine Perkins will go from 31st.
Brennan Poole starts 30th. Joey Gase goes 29th. Jeremy Clement starts 28th. The 27th starter, playoff contender Sammy Smith. Starting 26th is Jordan Anderson. Starting 25th is Nick Lights. The 24th starter, Parker Retzloff. David Starr starts 23rd. Dean Thompson starts 22nd, and C.J. McLaughlin starts 21st.
Starting 20th, we've Brandon Jones. Leland Honeyman will start 19th. Carson Quapple 18th, and Josh Williams ready to go from 17th. 16th will be Jeb Burton. Ryan Sieg 15th, starting 14th. Justin Allgaier. Anthony Alfredo 13th, starting 12th. Sam Mayer and Taylor Gray ready to go from 11th.
Starting 10th will be Cole Custer, the 9th starter. Eric Almirola, again, he'll drop to the back of the field. Starting 8th, Shane Van Gisbergen. Riley Herbst starts 7th. Parker Kligerman goes 6th, and A.J. Allmendinger starts 5th. Sheldon Creed starts 4th. Chandler Smith 3rd. Austin Hill 2nd, and Jesse Love has won the pole position. He'll lead the field to the green flag.
He went 182.129 miles an hour around this 2.66 mile super speedway here in Talladega. By the way, a driver change. Cesar Baccarella out, Tommy Joe Martins in, and they will start in position number 38. 94 laps will make up the distance here. That's 250 miles for 38 race teams that have assembled here at the Talladega Super Speedway. The cars are on the track. We're going to take you there right now. 3 more voices ready to go to work for you here this afternoon on the Motor Racing Network. Outside turn number 2 in the Sunoco stand from Barrie, Vermont. It is Dave Moody.
Thank you, Jeff Striegel. Good afternoon once again, everyone. From the south end of this Talladega Super Speedway, actually a little bit toward the southeast, 33 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2. Plenty of room to stretch out, swing your elbows a bit, get 3 or even 4 wide. 4 wide generally means it's the final lap or a dire emergency and people are taking evasive action. It's all about choosing the right drafting partner, exercising those partnerships, abandoning them when the time is right and a better offer comes along. We'll watch it all unfold here today from high atop the Sunoco Tower outside the exit of turn 2 here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Now let's go to the other end of the Alabama Gang Super Stretch in Milford, Delaware's Mike Bagley.
And Dave, you talk about those partnerships that develop in front of you more times than not towards the end of the race. They dissolve in front of me here on the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Strength in numbers will pay dividends. If you step out of line, you want them lined up behind you. But here's something to remember. Locking bumpers in the NASCAR Xfinity Series is not legal. You cannot do it. You can give a bump to the car in front of you. You just can't lock on and shove that car in front of you. One of the many things these drivers will have to keep mind of here this afternoon. It's always exciting on the Alabama Gang Super Stretch, watching those dramatic moves be made in 2, 3, and 4 wide formation. When they race by me, it'll be back up into the banking of turns 3 and 4, where they will be greeted by Anaheim, California's Dan Hubbard.
Well, thank you, Mike, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm at the turn 4 party balcony of Talladega Super Speedway, and along with a lot of the fans up here, we've got a great view of turns 3 and 4, also banked at 33 degrees, and also offering opportunities to take it 3 wide. Now, we saw the 3 wide in yesterday's truck race with some moderate success. We'll anticipate we'll see more 3 wide formations this afternoon. But either way, whether it's 2 wide or 3 wide, the racing is intense. It's inches apart, and sometimes these cars are literally bouncing off each other, still maintaining a high rate of speed, and all the while trying to turn left. It's harrowing to watch, and I'll cover the action for you here at turns 3 and 4 of Talladega. Once they're off turn 4, the intensity continues up through the tri-oval and back into the view of our anchors for today's broadcast, Jeff Striegel and Alex Hayden.
Along with Todd Gordon, our expert analyst, the tri-oval here at Talladega banked 16.5 degrees. The start-finish line is past the tri-oval in the short straightaway. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Time now for our 3 pit lane reporters to spread a little knowledge to you. This trip to pit road is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Steve Post.
Cole Custer enters this race, the top point gatherer in the playoffs, 41 points to the good, and that really plays into their strategy. Jonathan Toney and Cole Custer are just going to keep stacking points. See what they can stack in stage number 1, see what they can stack in stage number 2, and then let the chips fall where they may when it comes time to race for the win. This has been a good track for Cole. 5 starts here, 3 top 10 finishes. If they can do that, they can set themselves up really, really good, maybe for the win, but good for a run into the Roval next week and on into the playoffs. To the midsection of pit road, Jason Toy.
Well, Steve, let's talk about how physical it can be here at Talladega. You have to be sharp on your mind for every single lap around this track. Also, you add to it the heat that builds up inside the race car. So you mentally and physically have to be in that right spot to tackle things at Talladega. Cesar Baccarella, who normally runs a lot of the super speedway races in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, was set to start for Alpha Prime Racing in the Brownie Chevrolet. The problem is, when he got ready to go out for qualifying, he's been battling a sinus infection, had a migraine headache that was making his vision a little blurry. He said he felt like a million knives sticking towards his left eye. He jumped out. Team owner Tommy Joe Martins. He has his license, he's got his driver's bag, and he has jumped behind the wheel of his own Chevrolet. They'll start scratch on the field. Dylan?
Jason, you talk about the heat today. A lot of these drivers opting for the cool suit or the cool vest. Not the case for Eric Almirola. I spoke to the team just a minute ago who pointed that fact out to me that Eric is not wearing a cool suit. I said, was that his choice? And the team kind of laughed and said, we didn't really give him much of a choice. So there's mechanical things you have to put in these race cars to run the cool suits. And sometimes the crew chiefs or the engineers just don't like to have those in the car. So Almirola is going to have to tough it out today. He already has that penalty going to start at the back that we talked about earlier. But he's fast, and he's won here at Talladega and still very much alive in a championship fight of his own on the owner's side for the 20 car.
Yeah, that's just one of those situations, you know, that those pieces have to be installed before the seats get put in. They all get back there at the shop. You make the decision on what the temperature's like, how long the race is going to be. They've got Eric, who doesn't have to run a cup show tomorrow. He's just here today. He's a pretty tough guy. I think he'll be fine with that.
84 degrees here at the Talladega Super Speedway. That's your broadcast team. Steve Post, Jason Toy, Dylan Welch in the turns, ready to go. Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, Dan Hubbard. My name is Jeff Striegel. That was crew chief Todd Gordon just a moment ago. To get things started right now from Goldsboro, North Carolina, here's the Motor Racing Network's Alex Hayden.
Field comes down to the line. Green flag goes in the air, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series is racing at Talladega as they head to turn 1.
Side by side, nobody getting the advantage, but Jesse Love in the outside lane doesn't have a lot of drafting help from Sheldon Creed. That's going to cost him. Austin Hill will slide through on the bottom of the racetrack with the assistance now of Chandler Smith. They go 1-2.
Jesse Love in that outside line slowly starting to come to life. Chandler Smith already going to work on Austin Hill, and Hill's already throwing blocks. Here's Smith. He'll go to the top of the racetrack. Hill goes with him, and Hill still leads to 3.
Here they come into turn 3 for the first time, and it's Austin Hill still showing the way. A.J. Allmendinger down to the bottom of the racetrack, challenging Chandler Smith for that second spot. They are door panel to door panel for second, and now Allmendinger wants first from Austin Hill.
And here comes the Thunder back off of turn number 4 for the first time here this afternoon, and back to the tri-oval they come. Lap 1 is done. Out front, Austin Hill. Right behind him is Chandler Smith. AJ Allmendinger to the inside.
Allmendinger leading that low line. He's up into a side-by-side battle with Chandler Smith for that number 2 position. Allmendinger down on the double yellow line. Austin Hill leads the top line in the third group.
AJ Allmendinger inching forward. Now that bottom line out of 2 slides up against that outside lane. 2 lanes off the outside of the racetrack. Hill gets a huge shove from Smith. Smith and Hill out 1 and 2 with the lead.
Just a bit of a 2-car breakaway if you can get that at Talladega. It's Austin Hill in that top spot. Chandler Smith loses the advantage to AJ Allmendinger. He's strong on the bottom side through turns 3 and 4. They're almost side by side for the top spot.
A couple of big puffy clouds come overhead, and this track now in some shade as the field makes its way through the tri-oval, heads back to the start-finish line. That blue and white Chevrolet with a pink number on the door, that's Austin Hill, and he leads the race.
He shows the way by about a car length over a side-by-side battle for the number 2 position. Chandler Smith on the outside lane, down low, digging hard. Here comes Allmendinger for the lead.
AJ Allmendinger slides wide up against that outside lane off turn 2. He's not challenging for the lead. He's now side-by-side with Jesse Love for position 3. He'll inch forward, AJ will, trying to go wheel to wheel for second.
AJ loses a little momentum down that back straightaway, but boy, when he hits the corner of the center of turns 3 and 4, he's every bit as good as Austin Hill. In fact, now Allmendinger gets a nose on front. He may try to clear Hill as they exit off turn 4.
Just 2 laps in, Jeremy Clements already up 9 positions. He's running just outside of the top 10. Side by side at the line. It does not go away. It's Austin Hill on the outside. AJ working hard down below.
Austin Hill's got better drafting help in the outside lane, and as a result, he'll pull away by 2, maybe 3 car lengths now going into turns 1 and 2. Allmendinger trying to battle back in the low lane.
And he's got 9 drivers behind to help him power that low lane to the point behind AJ Allmendinger. You've got Riley Herbst right there. You've also got others stacked up. Taylor Gray is there. Also Sam Mayer and others.
Austin Hill comes in with the lead to turns 3 and 4, and it is AJ Allmendinger hoping to get some help from Riley Herbst. Again, Allmendinger comes off turn 4 with a clear lead. He's able to clear Austin Hill with Riley Herbst in tow.
And now Allmendinger goes up the racetrack to driver's right, puts the block on Austin Hill. AJ Allmendinger trying to be our second leader here at Talladega in the opening 4 laps. He's successful. It's Allmendinger to the point.
Into the 33-degree banking of turn number 1 for the moment. He's going to continue on the low side of the racetrack, leaving the top open for Austin Hill and company. Allmendinger leads the field to the back straightaway.
Minimal drafting help compared to the outside line, but it's the low lane that begins to advance. Dinger starts on the bottom. He'll jump up right in front of Riley Herbst, who now has forced Austin Hill third back in that outside lane.
Here they make their way into turn 3. Once again, it is Austin Hill on that outside, getting a little bit of help from Chandler Smith. Looks like Sammy Smith is making up some ground on that bottom line. May challenge AJ Allmendinger. No, make that Taylor Gray. It's Taylor Gray challenging Allmendinger for the top spot.
Side by side to come back through the tri-oval. Now they're going to break out 3 wide, and inside lane opens up. That's Sam Mayer. He is going all the way to the apron, and he wants the lead.
Allmendinger's not going to be able to block them all as they are 3 wide in the middle of the pack, but that middle groove has only got 3 contestants, and it's beginning to fade. Down to the inside, the challenge is on for the lead. Sam Mayer looking for the point.
15 cars in the outside lane. There's only 5 down low. Jesse Love breaks ranks. He will pull to the bottom. He now is 4th in line. That inside line led now by Sam Mayer.
AJ Allmendinger gets to turn 3 first, but can he keep that lead? Here comes Sam Mayer down to that bottom side, looking very strong, being Ryan C. Witham, who has just a bit of a wiggle on the bottom lane. He straightens it out. He's hanging on to the bumper of Sam Mayer.
That is on the inside lane. Mayer will abandon the bottom, go to the top, put the block on, make sure AJ Allmendinger in that lane do not advance any further. Sam Mayer has his blue and white Chevrolet at the front of the field, bouncing from the bottom to the top.
Let's see if Allmendinger's got a plan to regain the top spot. He does. He's going to go to the outside as Sam Mayer drops down to the bottom of the racetrack. Mayer on the inside. Allmendinger on the outside, wheel to wheel for the top spot.
Couple of Chevrolets going at it for the #1 position here so far at Talladega. Now they're about to stack them 3 wide. Here comes the move in 3 wide territory at the bottom. Ryan Sieg will get the help from drafting help, and Ryan Sieg is trying to lead.
Ryan Sieg tries to get out in front of A.J. Allmendinger, nothing doing. Getting help from Anthony Alfredo. Now they're separated just a little bit. Sieg says, I'll try to get it done by myself, and he does. Ryan Sieg leads the field off turn 4.
And as we watch this race kind of work its way along, the bottom lane seems to really wrap around 3 and 4 better. It's a challenge that you can't keep the guys behind you defined in line. That's when you're vulnerable, but right now the bottom seems to be the place to go, just blending up in front of the top lane.
Sam Mayer up 14 spots and all the way to the lead. Then he gets hung in the middle, and it's goodbye, good night, Sam. He comes across the line in position number 16. They're side by side for the lead.
While Sam Mayer gets his affairs in order at the back of the pack, Ryan Sieg has his on point. He's trying to hang on to the lead, but here comes Dinger powering back to the outside.
He is dueling with Riley Herbst for that second position. They are absolutely wheel to wheel all the way around turns 3 and 4. A.J. Allmendinger holds on to the lead, now starts to feel the challenge from Ryan Sieg.
Come down to the line to complete lap number 8 here at the Talladega Super Speedway. At the front of the field as they come to the line will be A.J. Allmendinger. Here's a look at the top 20 here on lap number 8. It's A.J. Allmendinger, the leader. Riley Herbst is second. Ryan Sieg is third, and Austin Hill fourth. Anthony Alfredo is fifth. Chandler Smith goes sixth. From the 27th starting spot to 7th, Sammy Smith is up to the number 7 position. 8th is Jesse Love. 9th is Taylor Gray, and 10th is Parker Kligerman.
Sheldon Creed running 11th in front of Brandon Jones. Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer 14th in front of Jeb Burton. Carson Kvapil 16th. Dean Thompson 17th. Sam Mayer 18th. That's where he fell after battling for the lead. Jeremy Clements 19th. Josh Williams right now 20th. We are 8 laps in. A.J. Allmendinger out front. Last lap turned at 187 plus miles an hour. Three wide, 6 deep, lap 10. It must be Talladega with Jesse Love out front. AJ second. Austin Hill, Ryan Sieg, and Anthony Alfredo. Again, 10 laps complete from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. To go in the stage. Remember, Eric Almirola had the penalty, had to start at the tail, had to make the pass through. And Alex, he's in danger here of going a lap down.
He is, however, he would be the only car to go a lap down at this point in the event. We're only 12 laps in. Stage number 1 will end in 13 more circuits, so should we not have a caution before that, he's in position to get the free pass. So all is not lost if you're Eric Almirola, Todd.
No, there's a path to recover from this. At the end of stage 1, you hope you're the first car, the only car a lap down. It looks that way. We've got a couple guys, stragglers off on the backstretch right now as the pack exits turn 4, but as long as he's going to try to blend in here, let's see where he blends in with this main pack.
17 cars, lead pack, less than a second differential between Jesse Love, your leader, and Carson Kvapil running in position number 17. The field climbs a banking in turn 1.
Now, where will Eric Almirola try to hide? For the moment, he's glued right to the bottom of the racetrack as they come up upon him now. 2 and 3 wide in the rearview mirror.
Almirola will stay on the double yellow line at the bottom of the back straightaway. The leader's now in the low lane, just trying to ease up behind him, get a little bit of a draft. That's Taylor Gray that's doing that. That's A.J. Allmendinger. That'll stack him 3 wide as Almirola stays on the bottom.
Austin Hill now gets around Eric Almirola. So too does Chandler Smith. Almirola giving it the college try there down on the bottom line. He is now where would be about the top 10 cars have already passed Eric Almirola.
Who's keeping his car at the bottom of the racetrack? There is help on the way, all the way down on the double yellow line. Sam Mayer is trying to hustle up to the back bumper of Eric Almirola, but Eric, Dave, all he needs to do is just latch onto this draft.
Well, that's right, and he's also got a really good race car. That's always the case when Joe Gibbs Racing rolls out the number 20 machine, so might not be a bad idea to grab his back bumper and become a drafting partner.
But he's not able to do that. That low line draft has already cleared him, and Eric is about 5, maybe 6 car lengths behind that low lane. He's going to try to ease up behind Shane Van Gisbergen and try to latch onto this lead draft.
And so for the moment, that does work. He goes side by side with Van Gisbergen through turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, up at the front, it is still Jesse Love showing the way. Behind him, A.J. Allmendinger alongside Chandler Smith.
Yeah, they go side by side, position number 2. Jesse's got the top spot locked down, at least for the moment. A.J. now comes to second. Here comes Austin Hill, filling the hole down to the inside on Chandler Smith.
Austin Hill, always an outstanding super speedway racer. He knows the drafting game. He plays it impeccably. And right now, he and Chandler Smith are elbow to elbow for position number 3.
Continue that side-by-side battle to the Alabama Gang super stretch while Jesse Love and A.J. Allmendinger break out all by themselves. Jesse Love will abandon the bottom. He'll go up and throw a block on Chandler Smith, which leaves the lane wide open for A.J. Allmendinger down low.
He is taking advantage of the move by Jesse Love, who went high. A.J. Allmendinger said thank you very much, went downstairs through turns 3 and 4, and now they are wheel to wheel for position number 1. Chandler Smith right on the bumper of Jesse Love.
A couple of Chevrolets at the front of the field as they come through the tri-oval. It's A.J. Allmendinger. He's on the bottom side of the racetrack. Jesse Love goes top side. Another Chevy and Austin Hill to the inside of the second row with a Toyota of Chandler Smith.
They're all squared up 2x2 in pace car formation yet again. You've got to go back outside the top 12, back around 15th or 18th place to find a little bit of a 3-wide race, but they are well back in the lead pack.
That is towards the tail end of the lead draft. It's all double wide up front, inside line led by A.J. Allmendinger. He's got help from Austin Hill, Anthony Alfredo, Parker Kligerman, Brandon Jones, and others.
On that top line, you've got Jesse Love, Chandler Smith, and now behind Chandler Smith is Justin Allgaier. So he starts to race inside the top 5, top 6. Everybody coming off of turn 4. Jesse Love opening up a bit of a gap between himself and the rest of the field.
8 laps to go here in stage number 1, and Dave, it just looks like in a blink of an eye, we're going to go from 2 wide and back to 3 wide racing. It just looks like they're itchy and ready to go.
Somebody's going to make that decision sooner or later. Sam Mayer, a few moments ago, decided he wanted to be the leader of the band up there in that 3 wide lane. He's still trying to test the waters up there, but he hasn't got a lot of help.
While that racing is going on at the back of the pack, Jesse Love is broken out in front all by himself. Again, he'll start at the bottom, he'll go to the top, seal off that advance by Chandler Smith. A.J. Allmendinger leads the lane down low, and he's only up to position number 2.
No question about it. Jesse Love has got a very strong car here this afternoon and still keeps that 2-car length advantage over himself and A.J. Allmendinger, who still battles with Chandler Smith for the second position. Austin Hill and A.J. and Justin Allgaier side by side for 4th.
It is intense racing racing per normal, Dave Moody, here at Talladega, but it almost seems relatively calm at the same time. How difficult is it for these drivers right now?
Well, it's pretty calm from where we sit, Alex, but I'm not sure that inches apart at 175 or 180 miles an hour is as easy as these guys make it look. So far, so good, but all it takes is one mistake.
To Alex's point, they've not gotten aggressive yet. Everybody is in their own lane, and they'll jump from a lane here or a lane there, but the blocks have not been as aggressive as we're used to seeing, and the moves aren't as aggressive as we're used to seeing, at least for now.
I would agree with you, Michael, because they know they're coming to the end of stage one, and everybody's trying to figure out where they should be, and do they have enough car to deal with Jesse Love. The field makes the win off turn 4.
You were just listening to Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, and Dan Hubbard, but you know that at any moment it can break out here, and it happens in a hurry. Out front now, 6 laps to go. The driver that went to victory lane the last time the Xfinity Series was at Talladega.
That's Jesse Love leading the pack right now, the side-by-side battle for second place continues. Chandler Smith rallying that outside lane in the second group. Down low, Justin Allgaier.
Justin Allgaier playing a bit of a high-speed game of hopscotch, bouncing back and forth between inside and outside lines. He's the one that's going to lead the lane down low. Love throws the block on him. Allgaier had a full head of steam.
Nice, nifty moves by Justin Allgaier, but Jesse Love was there. Again, half a car length over Allgaier, and to Allgaier's right elbow is still Chandler Smith. It is almost dead even, making their way off of turn 4. Sheldon Creed now starts to make some noise on that outside lane.
He does indeed. Championship points on the line in 5 more laps, and for all those playoff drivers, points are valuable. Win. Will they make the move to stick it 3 wide?
Here they come into turn number 1, and they are 2 abreast again, back through at least the top 15. Just a small third lane effort, just 2 cars strong. That won't amount to much on turn 2.
Jeremy Clements is that driver all the way at the end of the back of the pack that's trying to get 3 wide territory fired up, and it just won't happen. Here's Jesse Love now, this time on the bottom, right in front of Justin Allgaier. Chandler Smith will dial up the low lane in his quest for the lead.
We've gone back to racing 2 by 2 by 2 by about 10 rows deep. Jesse Love down on the bottom. Right next to him is Chandler Smith leading that outside lane. Then behind Chandler Smith is Sheldon Creed. Allgaier is now running in that 4th position.
4 to go here in stage number 1. Dean Thompson up 14 spots. He's running 8th. Justin Allgaier up 12 spots. Right now he is running inside of the 2nd row. The front row side by side. It's Chandler Smith and Jesse Love.
Kyle Weatherman's machine, silence under the hood as it goes down at the tail end of the back straightaway. Leaders making their way off turn number 2. It continues to be inches apart for the lead.
And Justin Allgaier wants to make it 3 wide, and he will make it 3 wide. He'll elbow Jesse Love to the middle lane with no drafting help. That allows Chandler Smith and Sheldon Creed to inch out 1 and 2.
Jesse Love gets hung out to dry on that middle groove, and he's just falling through the top 10. Your new leader is now Chandler Smith, who put the block on Justin Allgaier on the low line at the turns 3 and 4. Smith leads the field through the tri-oval.
Now a 3rd line begins to organize up to the top of the racetrack. 4 cars are there. That will dwindle to 3 cars now. That's going to be led by Jesse Love. He'll pull out of line in front of the rest of the pack.
Nobody so far has got, or very few people have got the incentive to move up there with Jesse Love. That battle is no further ahead than about the 9th or 10th position. At the top of the heat, it's Chandler Smith leading the way over Justin Allgaier.
Justin Allgaier settling in 2nd. Those 2 are 1 and 2 at the bottom of the racetrack. They're side by side for 3rd. Here's A.J. Allmendinger to the inside of Sheldon Creed. Jesse Love has jumped up into 3 wide territory with Brandon Jones and Parker Kligerman behind him.
Can he mount a charge in that 3rd lane in the late going, the late stages of stage 1? He is still trying, but still just outside the top 10. Chandler Smith, Justin Allgaier, A.J. Allmendinger, and Sheldon Creed side by side for 3rd.
Chandler Smith has never had a finish here better than 25th, but he is leading now with 2 to go in stage number 1. Chandler Smith out front, Justin Allgaier right behind.
Chandler Smith's done a masterful job of his working his way into the lead. Let's see what he's got to hold on to it for 1 more lap and cash himself in on some stage points. He will lead Justin Allgaier, A.J. Allmendinger, and Sheldon Creed.
Here they come now off turn 2. Chandler Smith will opt for the inside line. He's not jumping up to block any advances. He'll stay to the bottom of the racetrack and keep Justin Allgaier behind him in tow.
Justin Allgaier down on that bottom side. In that second spot behind him is A.J. Allmendinger, and you get the impression that Allgaier is going to need some help from Allmendinger if he's going to get around Chandler Smith. Bottom lane now has a big gap between themselves and that outside lane.
It does, and the lead duo had a big gap between themselves and the front bumper of the next car in line, A.J. Allmendinger. That will accordion right back together. We begin the final lap of stage number 1 here in Talladega.
Here they come, looking for the payday. The side-by-side battle is for second. Allgaier on the bottom. Sheldon Creed topside behind them. A.J. Allmendinger's got the bottom of the racetrack, but out in front it continues to be Chandler Smith.
Now Chandler Smith will make the move from the bottom. He will abandon Justin Allgaier. He'll slide up in front of Sheldon Creed. Smith comes back to the bottom. They begin to juke and jive now. Mid-pack, Taylor Gray gets the shuffle to the middle as Smith leads to 3.
Well, if you got anything for Chandler Smith, you better pull the trigger soon. And Justin Allgaier goes way to the top side, trying to get around the outside. It did not work. A.J. Allmendinger now racing alongside Allgaier for the second spot, but it's Chandler Smith who leads the field off turn 4.
And here they come back to the tri-oval. Green and white, checkered flag in the air. Stage 1 done. It looks like it's going to be Chandler Smith. One more run by A.J. will come up short, and Chandler Smith will score the stage 1 win, his 7th stage win of the season. 25 laps in, stage 1 done. AJ across the line second to Chandler. Justin Allgaier third. Austin Hill fourth. Sheldon Creed fifth. Anthony Alfredo across the line in sixth in front of Taylor Gray. Sam Mayer eighth. Cole Custer ninth. And Dean Thompson completes the top 10.
That look at the top 10 and who scored points in this stage is presented by the Powerball. Powerball, the official lottery game of NASCAR, wants to make you a millionaire in victory lane. Head to Powerball.com to find out how you can enter the NASCAR Powerball Playoff. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Pit lane remains closed this time by. Stage 1 is in the books as we work our first caution of the race. 7 of the top 10 in this stage were all playoff competitors. Chandler Smith got the big point payday. He won stage number 1. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Lap 28 on the board. Pit lane is open. Steve Post.
Sheldon Creed brings his car into the attention of this crew. He needs just a little bit of help on exit. They're going left side tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. Looks like left side tires as well for Jesse Love. He got shuffled out, but he is going to race his way forward with a quick pit stop. Jesse Love down and away first. Chandler Smith goes out second. Sheldon Creed third. Justin Allgaier fourth. A.J. Allmendinger, your front five off pit road. Jason Toy.
4 tires, Sunoco Fuel. We saw a lot of chassis wrenches up and down in here on this middle section of pit road. We talked about Allmendinger with those 4 tires. And also Sam Mayer. He was complaining he was loose. They tightened him up. Got those Goodyear Racing Eagles on there. Topped it off with that second can of Sunoco Fuel. Same thing for Shane Van Gisbergen. Also Sammy Smith and Jordan Anderson in the middle section. Dylan.
Austin Hill called his car out of control. They changed 4 tires, and I counted 3 rounds out of the left rear for a chassis adjustment. They said they were going to take a big swing at it, and they did to try to get the front of that race car tightened up for Austin Hill. Parker Kligerman also wanted a chassis adjustment, and they made an air pressure adjustment for him as well. And Taylor Gray said his car was a little bit free on exit, but pretty manageable. 4 tires and fuel for the 19.
Jesse Love going with just a fuel-only stop, up 14 positions in the first car off of pit road in front of Chandler Smith, Sheldon Creed, Justin Allgaier, and A.J. Allmendinger. We should be just 2 laps away from going back under the green flag. Stage 2 on deck from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. A good-looking crowd on hand here at the Talladega Superspeedway. And oh, by the way, they have 2,700 camp spots in the infield. And Alex, what's the story on that?
Every one of them is sold out yet again here at Talladega Superspeedway. Love the race fans. Whether you're camping in the infield, maybe you guys, you and Dave may have taken a trip up and down East Tobogga Boulevard last night in the infield. Maybe we'll be down there tonight. I don't know. But this place never disappoints. The racing, the race fans.
And what about tomorrow? Todd Gordon, you've been here for so many years. Tomorrow is, by the way, the Yellowwood 500, Talladega Superspeedway, NASCAR Cup Series. The place is going to be packed. It's going to be rocking. And it's Talladega. What else can you say?
You can't say anything other than just come experience it. 2 and 3 wide racing all day long. I think a phenomenal show, and one that will have a few winners and a lot of people that leave here disappointed because they thought they could have gotten something more.
Yeah, that's part of it. Everybody thinks and does expect to have a shot to win here at Talladega Superspeedway. And when you put yourself in position and have something happen at the end of the race out of your control, whether it be a wreck or you just simply get shuffled out of the line that you were hoping to be in, it can be frustrating because you work so hard. I imagine, Jeff, that this is as much a strain mentally on these drivers as it is anything.
I can't imagine 500 miles, 2 and 3 wide. Every single lap, you've got your competitor inches off the front bumper, the rear bumper, out your right side, out your left side. It is Talladega, and it's something special. By the way, that Yellowwood 500 that we were talking about, airtime tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Mike Bagley hosts NASCAR Live Race Day. He'll be joined down there with Steve Post and Dylan Welch, Jason Toy. We're going to take you all the way up to the green flag, and then from that point, it is on. Don't miss it. 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Right now, though, we need to put them back under the green flag. We are stage 1 complete, getting ready for stage 2. Jesse Love, Chandler Smith, Sheldon Creed, Justin Allgaier getting ready to go. So is AJ Allmendinger and Cole Custer, Dean Thompson, Austin Hill, Parker Kligerman, and Anthony Alfredo. That is your top 10. Green flag coming out on lap number 31. It is a Geico restart on deck. Presented by Geico. Is your insurance playbook lacking? Switch to Geico and get all of your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com today to get started.
There will be 19 laps to go in stage number 2. Chandler Smith won stage number 1. He'll restart right now on the inside of the front row. Jesse Love, who is the control car of the Geico restart zone, opts for the outside lane. Green flag goes back in the air. Once again through the gearbox they go as they begin to climb the banking over in turn number 1.
The advantage goes by about a car length to Jesse Love, but the low line trying to regroup now. Chandler Smith picking up some drafting help down low from Sheldon Creed and AJ Allmendinger. For the moment, Jesse Love free and clear at the front of the pack off turn 2.
He will stay in the outside line until now, and he'll slide across the nose of Chandler Smith. He'll try to seal off that advance. Now he's splitting both lanes. He's trying to dodge Chandler Smith and Justin Allgaier. Now Love's moves back to the top of the track in 3.
That strategy worked for just a little bit, but when they hit turns 3 and 4, here comes Chandler Smith down to the bottom of the racetrack. Gets a nose out in front, but Jesse Love keeps the RPMs up, got the momentum on the outside. He'll take the lead back from Chandler Smith.
A high-speed pace lap comes racing back to the line. Jesse Love trying to get out front, can't do it. Chandler Smith filling the hole downstairs. Justin Allgaier, Sheldon Creed looking on.
Noah's Ark formation into turn number 1, 2 by 2, but Jesse Love now busts out. He'll pull away by about a car length and a half. Slides from the top to the bottom. He'll cover the low lane, leaving the top open for Allgaier.
Not anymore, because Love will jump up and block the outside lane now. So up top, it's Jesse Love and Justin Allgaier. Down low, you've got Chandler Smith, Sheldon Creed, AJ Allmendinger, Dean Thompson, and others.
That's exactly the way they come into turns 3 and 4, though Love tries to bust out of the box just a little bit. Chandler Smith leading that lower line through turns 3 and 4. Cole Custer and Justin Allgaier normal part of the equation.
Right in the middle of the racetrack is the fast lane right now at the front of the field, led by Jesse Love. He's going to keep his Chevrolet Camaro right there. He's got another Chevy on the back bumper. That's Justin Allgaier before a Toyota and a Ford stack up for fourth.
Here they come into turn number 1. Outside lane for the moment is holding sway. It's Jesse Love with the lead. Allgaier second. Now Cole Custer up into a side-by-side battle with Chandler Smith for the 3 spot.
And that is the first side-by-side battle inside of the top 5. That Ford and Toyota duel there. Now it's the Ford of Cole Custer that gets the advantage. Chandler Smith falls into a side-by-side battle for 4th. Now a wheel-to-wheel battle for 5th.
The bottom line is faded, and the wheel-to-wheel battle is Chandler Smith and Anthony Alfredo. The bottom line is now being left behind by that top side line, being led by Jesse Love, Justin Allgaier, and Cole Custer.
4 laps under the green flag, soon to be 5, but in the 4 laps when we put him under the green flag, Eric Almirola up 13 positions. He's digging for more as he comes across the line, Alex. Let's remind everybody, he started at the tail and really had to fight his way, win a lap down, but he's on the rebound now. He is up to position number 20.
Yeah, he is. After getting the free pass on the caution at the end of the stage, Eric Almirola, twice a winner in this car this season, including last week at Kansas Speedway. Picked up the win at the Martinsville Speedway a little bit earlier. This has been an all-star car for the Joe Gibbs Racing stable. They've had John Hunter Nemechek win Las Vegas and Nashville in this car. Ryan Truex with 2 wins in this car at Dover and Daytona. Christopher Bell picked up 2 wins in the car at New Hampshire and Darlington, along with Eric Almirola. This car has been the all-star car, and it's been a dominant machine. .14 laps remain here in stage number 2. Jesse Love leads Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer, Austin Hill, and Anthony Alfredo. As a matter of fact, the front 10 or 12 cars now line up and go single file. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. We welcome you back to Talladega Super Speedway with the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the United Rentals 250. Things relatively calm at the front of the field, Jeff, with Jesse Love in control.
And goodbye to Riley Herbst. When you are running that inside lane and all of a sudden AJ decides to build a lane lower and makes it work, you find yourself in the middle. and going backwards. At the front of the field, Mike Bagley, Jesse Love just trying to hold on to the top spot over Justin Allgaier.
Everybody was very tame last time. Single foul against the outside line. That's over. They're double wide, 3 wide from 5th on back.
That's where you'll find Cole Custer. He's getting a bit of a push there from Jeb Burton. It was the top side that was the quick side. Now Jesse Love has gone down to the bottom, and plenty of cars have gone with him. Jesse Love, Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, your top 3.
Looks like 3 wide, 3 deep, back around 10th on back. Jesse Love is going to lead him with 11 laps to go in the United Rentals 250 across the line. Jesse Love, I'll give you a quick look at the top 10. Jesse Love, Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer now up to 3rd, Austin Hill, Anthony Alfredo. Then you've got A.J. Allmendinger, Chandler Smith, Eric Almirola has cracked the top 10, Alex, and Jeb Burton completes the top 10. He's running 10th.
Yeah, as we work stage number 2 here of the United Rentals 250. I want to welcome to the broadcast Craig Schmidt. Well, looks like we got trouble over in turn number 4 right now. We'll interrupt the interview. Dan Hubbard, what's going on in 4?
Nick Lights got pushed from behind and slid into the outside wall. He did collect a couple of other cars, but they have grabbed the gear and go. Jeb Burton also got a piece of the action, but this started right in the middle of turn 3 and 4 to the back half of the field when Nick Lights got out of shape right in the center of the corner, hit the wall on the outside. He's been able to continue, but he does have a damaged race car.
And so we go under the caution flag now for the second time. That may have started all the way at the front of the field with Cole Custer getting into AJ. AJ got crossed up. Everybody checked up. An accordion effect all the way back, Alex, outside of the top 15 caused this incident in turn number 4. And we are running the United Rentals 250 right now under caution. Lap 42, Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, Anthony Alfredo, Tanner Gray, Jesse Love, and we have got cars on pit road right now. Let's start with Dylan Welch.
Austin Hill has still been battling the handling on his race car. Said it was better that run, but he was getting tight late at the exits. They're going to make a couple more changes on that race car. Parker Kligerman, one of the playoff cars, got caught up in that mess. Front end damage on both the left and right sides. They're going to make a couple adjustments in the front suspension, put a packer in there or take one out maybe just to help the travel on that race car and then monitor the damage. It looks a little bit cosmetic from here, but he may have to come back down pit road and fix that, Steve Post.
An opportunity caution for some of these drivers. All of these cars come in and took 4 tires. Sunoco Racing Fuel had Carson Quappel in, had Riley Herbst, one of the playoff drivers in, Brandon Jones was in, and this is an opportunity for them to take 4 tires, so at the end of this next stage, they don't have to worry about tires. They'll run these to the end, Jason Toy.
Exactly. They're in the middle section of pit road for Shane Van Gisbergen. Still not happy with the handle of that race car, saying he's still a little bit loose, so they tried to tighten him up again, but the important thing, they got those 4 fresh Racing Goodyear Eagles on there. They packed it full of Sunoco fuel, so the next time they come back down, they won't have to spend as much time on pit lane. We do have one of the drivers that was involved in that wreck, Jeb Burton. Heavy left front damage on the nose of that Golden Corral Chevrolet.
Got to work on that to get him back into the race and back on the racetrack. We're down to 7 laps to go here in stage number 2. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. We welcome you back to Talladega Superspeedway. We work our caution flag for the second time for the crash over in turn number 4. Cleanup over there, just about ready to wrap up.
And we will go back into the green flag shortly. Only 5 laps remaining in the stage. Before we do it, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. United Rentals 250 Talladega Superspeedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series on a beautiful, warm Saturday afternoon. Glad to have you with us here live on the Motor Racing Network. My name is Jeff Striegel. Alongside is Alex Hayden and Todd Gordon out in the turns today and enjoying every minute of it. Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, and Dan Hubbard on pit road. Steve Post, Jason Toy, and Dylan Welch. We are now 5 laps away from the end of stage number 2.
couple of drivers begin to make their way to pit road from the back of the field, some wounded race cars. With these remaining laps left, here's how they line up, at least in the running order. It's Justin Allgaier at the front of the field. Austin Hill is second. Jesse Love is third. Anthony Alfredo goes fourth, and Cole Custer fifth. A.J. Allmendinger sixth. Chandler Smith is seventh. Eric Almirola into the top 10. He's eighth. Sheldon Creed ninth, and Sammy Smith is 10th.
Rest of the top 20 shows Sam Mayer 11th, Dean Thompson, Dylan Lupton, Brandon Jones, and Carson Quapple making up your top 15. Riley Herbst is running there. Also, by the way, Taylor Gray busted for speeding just a few moments ago, so that's going to cost him. Going to be a sprint race now, Alex, to the green and white checkered flag. We talk about this as being the middle race in the round of 12, headed off to the Charlotte Roval next week. Stage points on the line. They're valuable.
Yeah, they are. And already Chandler Smith maximized stage number 1. He won stage 1. Allmendinger was second. And Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, they were the top 5. Sam Mayer and Cole Custer were able to get a point or 2 out of stage number 1. So this is your last chance to get some extra points here. And that's going to happen in 5 more laps.
Shane Van Gisbergen right now, if you look at points as they sit, Shane down 10, Riley Herbst down 12, Sammy Smith down 27, and Parker Kligerman, who is right now down 34, but that can change here in a hurry.
It absolutely can, and with these drivers, we're going to find out there are some drivers that are here to win this race and want to protect their race car, knowing that there are some desperate teams and drivers that need to get stage points. You may see some folks bail out of this draft in these closing couple of laps before the green and white checkered flag comes out to end stage number 2, and that could add to the collection for some of these drivers.
As we get ready to go back into the green flag here, Talladega Superspeedway, 4 to go, stage 2, as we get set, as they make their way through the Geico restart zone. Justin Allgaier on the inside, Austin Hill outside, Dean Thompson, Jesse Love, row 2, Cole Custer and A.J. Allmendinger side by side in row number 3 as they build speed and head to 1.
Up through the gearbox, hard on the accelerator, not yet up to full cry as they hit the midway mark of turns 1 and 2, and as a result, everybody is in lockstep formation, 2 by 2 to the backstretch.
Justin Allgaier down low, Austin Hill top side, drapping against to form more so on the outside, very disorganized from mid-pack on back. Up front, Jesse Love, he'll give a shove to Austin Hill. Allgaier wants the lead all by himself.
He does a great job on that bottom line, Justin Allgaier. He is doing it all by himself against Austin Hill. That's the fight for the top spot. Jesse Love is watching from behind in that 3rd position. He feels the challenge from Anthony Alfredo.
That lead group has really been nice on this opening lap. They have spaced themselves out a good car length or so between each other. Got a feeling that will change drastically soon. Now, 3 wide move going right up the middle is A.J. Allmendinger.
Now, the good behavior didn't last long. Here comes the Dinger, busting a move, trying to go up the middle, and he's got drafting help on his back bumper from no less than Eric Almirola, who's 1 spot away from the top 5.
Now right there in the middle is Eric Almirola. He is in the middle lane. That becomes the center lane in the middle of the back straightaway. Allgaier sees Allgaier sees Allmendinger coming. Almirola there as well. They will shift to the bottom side of the racetrack.
They sort it all out in turns 3 and 4. Allmendinger with a great, Justin Allgaier with a great move down to the bottom of the racetrack. He got a little help from Allmendinger, and it is Allgaier who gets in front of Austin Hill. That's your 1st and 2nd place car.
Just a moment ago, Alex Hayden said, look for this pack to break apart as we wrap up stage 2. He's exactly right. Only the top 15 cars are contesting at the front of the field at the moment, led by Justin Allgaier.
Allgaier leads the way, then it's a 2 by 2 battle for the 2nd spot. A.J. Allmendinger running in the middle lane. Top side is Austin Hill. Hill crosses over. He'll go for the lead off 2.
Allgaier was a sitting duck. Hill's going to throw an aggressive block across the nose of Allgaier. Here they come down the back straightaway. Allgaier back to the bottom of the racetrack. Hill is going to go outside, and Jesse Love right at the middle.
Jesse Love in the middle, making it 3 wide for the top position here at Talladega. Allgaier down on that bottom side. To his right elbow is Jesse Love, and he's got some help from Eric Almirola. They make that Riley Herbst off of turn 4 they go.
Furious drafting ongoing at the front of the field. They'll come down to the line. We'll get set to begin our final lap of of stage number 2. Austin Hill has the advantage. Then it's Jesse Love and Chandler Smith.
It's about to get aggressive as they make their way into turn number 1. It's Hill continuing to show the way. Then Jesse Love on the inside, Chandler Smith on the outside, Riley Herbst, Cole Custer off turn 2.
Points paying window about to open, and everybody is trying to elbow and get every point they can. It is Austin Hill. He'll lead the low lane. Chandler Smith gets abandoned in the middle. Sammy Smith with Shane Van Gisbergen, topside in 3.
They make their way into turn 3. Sammy Smith to the outside of Austin Hill. Absolutely dead even for position number 1. And Jesse Love right on the bumper of Sammy Smith. They almost make contact. Top 3 absolutely sewn together.
Teammates working together on the bottom of the racetrack. Austin Hill right behind Jesse Love. Here comes Sammy Smith. Back to the outside. Back to the line, but it won't be enough. And Austin Hill has scored his 4th stage win here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Austin Hill closing out stage number 2 on top. Sammy Smith 2nd. Jesse Love was 3rd. Shane Van Gisbergen in front of Chandler Smith. That was a top 5. As a matter of fact, the top 9 drivers, all playoff drivers. 6, Riley Herbst, A.J. Allmendinger, Sheldon Creed, Cole Custer 9th, and Brandon Jones was 10th.
And that'll put us under the caution flag for the 3rd time today. Stage racing is over here at Talladega. Now it's a run to the black and white checkered flag. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Pit road remains closed. You won't miss a pit stop. We'll be right back. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. The lap number is 53 this time by. Pit lane is open. Dylan Welch.
Austin Hill is in. They're going to change 4 tires. Want to tighten the rear of the car to try to help the front of the car get through the bumps a little bit better. Taylor Gray is planning to do fuel only. Parker Kligerman is also back in. He's been on pit road for a couple laps just trying to fix that damage, Steve.
4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. The call for Jesse Love. Car is pretty good, pretty happy with it. Cole Custer needs a little bit more grip. The strategy plays off for Riley Herbst. He's long gone. Brandon Jones goes out second. Carson Quapple is third. There goes Chandler Smith. And there goes Tanner Gray, your front 5. Other pit stops down here were fuel only for Carson Quapple and Brandon Jones and Riley Herbst as they took tires the last time by. Jason Toy.
Sam Mayer with a very long pit stop. He stalled it on the pull out here. You got 4 tires, Sunoco fuel. A lot of these teams down here just taking on as much fuel as they can. They know they can go to the end of the stage. It's those extra laps that we always seem to find here at Talladega. They want to make sure they keep enough fuel in there and save as much as they can. Also, A.J. Allmendinger, 4 tires and fuel. They tighten them up even more. Sammy Smith. Also, we saw Shane Van Gisbergen back again. Wasn't a fast pit stop. He lost some spots on pit road.
A number of drivers going fuel only. Riley Herbst in the Ford Mustang off of pit road, position number 1, fuel only. Same for Brandon Jones. Same from Carson Quapple. They come off pit road 2, 3. Chandler Smith, Taylor Gray, top 5 off of pit road, lap number 53. .54 laps are complete. We have 40 laps to go until the scheduled black and white checkered flag. We'll get you back to the racetrack and back under the green flag when we come back from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. A beautiful Saturday afternoon, Talladega Superspeedway Motor Racing Network with live coverage of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Alex Hayden, we're getting ready to go. Strategy being played out. In fact, Todd, let me just start with you. Some strategy playing out down there, electing to go without new Goodyear's fuel-only stops. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it works out for these guys. A lot of these guys were able to take advantage of that caution we just had and put tires on, 5 laps ago. So they actually got their they got their tires set there, just put themselves in a position to take gas and get some track position for them.
How is the tire wear here at Talladega? That's obviously a big concern at a lot of different racetracks. What about here at Talladega?
Not so much so. This is probably the least important place to put tires on, and one all about exercising your opportunity to make track position any chance you can. I think those guys coming with that caution with 5 to go in stage 2 set them up to take advantage of it and cycle themselves forward.
And we're going to be back under the green flag, Todd, in one lap. Riley Herbst, Brandon Jones, Carson Kvapil, Chandler Smith, Taylor Gray, top 5. Sammy Smith, Sheldon Creed, Kyle Sieg, Eric Almirola, Dean Thompson, who's had a great day inside the top 10 all day long. Dean ready to go from 10th.
And that's Sam Hunt Racing entry. 11th is Austin Hill. 12th is Josh Williams. Shane Van Gisbergen in 13th, and Jesse Love is 14th. Cole Custer 15th. A.J. Allmendinger 16th. Joey Gase is 17th with Justin Allgaier 18th. Ryan Ellis and Sam Mayer make up the top 20.
Jordan Anderson 21st. Ryan Sieg, Jeb Burton, Parker Retzloff, and Matt DiBenedetto make up your top 25. David Starr 26th, followed by Blaine Perkins and Anthony Alfredo. He's back now to 28th. Tommy Joe Martin's 29th. Jeremy Clements is 30th.
C.J. McLaughlin 31st. 32nd is Dylan Lupton. 33rd is Brennan Poole. Leland Honeyman goes 34th. Parker Kligerman 35th. And Carson Ware is 36th on the running order.
Before we go back under the green flag, let's just remind everybody you have an opportunity to make a difference. You have an opportunity to pitch in to help those that have been affected by Hurricane Helene. Yes, they still need your support. They need your money. Make a donation today. Do it right now. It's simple. Go to redcross.org. redcross.org. That's all you need to do. Or you can call them 800 Red Cross. That's 800-733-2767 to make a financial donation, or easier yet, 90999. Text it using the word Helene. Make a donation. Make a difference.
The field is coming to the Geico Restart Zone, presented by Geico. Is your insurance playbook lacking? Switch to Geico and get all your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com today to get started.
The run to the checkered flag starts right now. 38 laps remain. Green flag back out. Riley Herbst outside. Brandon Jones inside. Carson Kvapil filling the hole downstairs, up to speed and up into the banking of turn number 1.
2 by 2 into the banking of turn number 1. One car gets shuffled 3 wide to the outside. That's bad news for Josh Williams. He is in the midst of a plummet right now. Back outside the top 18. In front of the heap is Riley Herbst in the lead.
And he's got Chandler Smith in his hip pocket. They lead the outside line. Brandon Jones, he'll lead the lane down low. Matter of fact, Jones is up to a side-by-side battle for third. He's got Taylor Gray to his right elbow.
Top 2 are leaving the rest of the field just a little bit. That is Riley Herbst and Chandler Smith. Brandon Jones trying to rally back down to the bottom side with help from Carson Kvapil. But for the moment, Riley Herbst is in control.
On the outside lane, inside lane, 2 cars back is going to be led by Brandon Jones, and the highlighter yellow Menards entry all the way down by the double yellow line. About the 15th position is Justin Allgaier. His Junior Motorsports teammate Sammy Smith drops down.
Yeah, the Junior Motorsports guys are doing their best to try and form up and get together here, and they're doing a pretty good job of it in the low lane. Brandon Jones needs some drafting help, but he's hanging tough in third place.
Right now, the majority of the drafting help is all the way against the safer barrier at the top of the racetrack. It's led by Riley Herbst. Meanwhile, downstairs, Brandon Jones is going to slide across the nose of Sammy Smith. You got Eric Almirola and 4 more cars down there.
Up at the front, Jesse Love steps out of that top line, drops to the bottom of the racetrack through turns 3 and 4. It's an aggressive move, but it's good enough to pay off for the lead. Here comes Riley Herbst to his right elbow.
Carson Kvapil making his first start at Talladega, and and just learned a very tough lesson as he tucks back in line outside of the top 15. He had been running in the top 5. Dave, when you get moved out of the draft, it's good night and goodbye.
Yeah, that lesson is you can't do anything alone. Case in point, Brandon Jones. He now gets shuffled to the middle all by himself. Goodbye, Brandon Jones.
No drafting help to help him. He's going to go all the way to the back of the pack. He'll find a hole in line about 13th or 14th or so. Low lane led by Jesse Love. He's got about a dozen cars lined up behind them as they try to keep pace with the line upstairs.
Behind Jesse Love is Sammy Smith, then Eric Almirola, then Justin Allgaier, and then Anthony Alfredo. They are all working together to try to get Jesse Love to the top spot against Riley Herbst.
Jesse Love's going to be stuck in the middle. Now he'll drop quickly down to put the block on the bottom side of the racetrack. They'll go side by side at the front of the field yet again. The Chevrolet to the inside is Jesse Love. The Mustang top side is Riley Herbst.
Here they come into turn number 1. Herbst by only half a car length. Jesse Love creeping ahead in that low line. Drafting help from Sammy Smith. Jesse Love now by half a car length as they race nose to nose for the lead.
The aggressive meter is starting to bump up click by click, lap by lap. What a block Jesse Love threw. Right now he is leading the low lane. Sammy Smith right behind him. Riley Herbst trying to take some thunder and wind out of those sails. He won't be able to do it this time by.
Jesse Love opens up a gap of about 2.5, maybe even 3 car lengths on the field just before he got to turn 3. It goes away in a hurry. Sammy Smith making up ground. Now he's right to the bumper of Jesse Love.
And now you've got Taylor Gray all the way up against the outside safer barrier. 3 wide, 4 deep. Here comes Taylor. He's got Chandler Smith, Cole Custer, Jeb Burton working with him. Carson Quapple also working the 3rd lane.
Taylor Gray trying to make the bonsai charge, but he's still got some more work to do. He's still back around 10th, maybe 12th position. Shane Van Gisbergen in the middle lane. Ryan C. down low.
Taylor Gray leads a 3rd lane all the way up against the outside wall. Meanwhile, at the front, Jesse Love starts on the bottom. He'll drift to the middle. He'll throw a block on Riley Herbst there. But here comes Sammy Smith with a huge shove from Eric Almirola.
Sammy Smith trying to take advantage of that shove. He does get a nose out in front as Jesse Love has a little bit of a wiggle right in the middle of the corner. Now he swings out wide, opening the door almost for Riley Herbst. Eric Almirola also part of that mix.
Things tightening up at the front of the field. 2 distinct drafting lines as they rumble back to the start-finish line. 33 laps to go. Jesse Love leads by a nose over Sammy Smith. Jesse Love on the outside lane has control of the field at the moment as he has the lead with 32 laps to go. Riley Herbst, Sammy Smith, Chandler Smith, and A.J. Allmendinger, your top 5. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. is being shuffled at the front of the field again. Chandler Smith led in the middle of the tri-oval, but Dave Moody no longer.
Yeah, the shift is on. They are 3 wide from second place on back. Riley Herbst leads the race by a car length at the bottom of the racetrack. Then it's Eric Almirola on the bottom. Sammy Smith in the middle. Top side, Chandler Smith.
Gloves are in the process of being unlaced. It's getting ready to be a bare knuckler here at Talladega. They're turning it up, 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Riley Herbst on the bottom. Sammy Smith in the middle and Chandler Smith topside.
They try to hold that formation through turns 3 and 4. Sammy Smith gives up a little bit in that middle groove, and now it starts to transition to a 2-groove race, but it now is Riley Herbst in that top spot. Chandler Smith fighting hard on that outside.
Talladega Superspeedway on display right now with 29 laps to go, 3 wide, front of the field, virtually all the way to the tail of the lead pack, led by Riley Herbst, Chandler Smith, Sammy Smith. They're back in 1.
Nobody giving an inch now. At the bottom of the racetrack, it's Riley Herbst to the lead. Eric Almirola from the back of the field and a lap down. He puts the nose down low for second.
And behind Riley Herbst, they are 3 wide, 7 rows deep. Now they inch forward. Riley Herbst on the bottom. Sammy Smith getting drafting help from Shane Van Gisbergen. Chandler Smith gets help from Jesse Love. It's a massive knot of cars from the lead on back.
Still 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Sammy Smith busts out of the box just a little bit, but here comes Riley Herbst rallying back on that bottom side. They maintain that 3 wide formation off of turn 4.
Hold your breath racing at Talladega, and we still have 28 laps to go. Right down, squeezing each other towards the double yellow line. Sammy Smith pinching down on Riley Herbst. Herbst will not be bullied from the bottom.
The gloves came off. We went bare knuckles, and I don't think we're far away from brass knuckles now. 3 wide, about 8 rows deep. Everybody looking for real estate and giving up nothing.
Right now, still 3 wide for the lead. Chandler Smith on the outside, Sammy Smith in the middle. Riley Herbst downstairs, and Riley Herbst has the least drafting help. Here is Sammy Smith. Shane Van Gisbergen shoves him to the lead.
Here comes Sammy Smith all by himself now in that top spot. Riley Herbst right behind him as Smith dives down to that bottom lane. Shane Van Gisbergen in a 3 wide battle for the 3rd position, heads for the tri-oval.
Down and back straightaway just a moment ago, they were 3 wide, 8 rows deep at 186 miles an hour. Sammy Smith out front, right behind him now. Riley Herbst, the top 2 at least at the moment, nose to tail.
The defending series champion took a look at all that a lap ago and said, no, I don't think so. Cole Custer has bailed out, dropped back about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds, looking for a little safety. It's a little crazy for his taste right now.
Up front, the first 4 positions are side by side. 3 wide behind them. Sammy Smith out in control with the lead. Here comes Riley Herbst. Thanks to the front bumper of Almirola, he's looking for the lead.
Herbst quite comfortable on that bottom lane, although he got a push from Eric Almirola. Might have made Herbst a bit uncomfortable right in the center of the turn, but he maintains control. It's Herbst, Almirola, Sammy Smith, and Chandler Smith.
Fighter formation as they come into the tri-oval. They hit the shade under the massive grandstands. Here they come back to the start-finish line. Riley Herbst, he has got a trunk full of Eric Almirola downstairs.
Here they come into turn number 1. Riley Herbst just will not give up his grip on the bottom of the racetrack. He's got Eric Almirola velcroed to his back bumper. Middle lane, Sammy Smith with Shane Van Gisbergen. Top side, Chandler Smith.
And the outside line starts to fade just a tad. They lost a couple of cars. They're trying to get themselves reorganized. The draft is potent in the middle. Here comes SVG again, applying pressure to the back bumper of Sammy Smith.
And Sammy Smith says thank you very much. He has the lead momentarily. Chandler Smith, however, showing some strength on that outside lane, right up against the wall. Jesse Love right behind him, and they're 3 wide for the lead off of turn 4.
23 cars separated by 0.8 of a second. 25 laps to go. 3 wide for the lead. Riley Herbst downstairs. Sammy Smith in the middle. Outside, Chandler Smith.
Spectacular racing of the type you only see at Talladega Superspeedway. Chandler Smith a lap ago looked like he was struggling in that outside lane, the 3rd line. Now he's got sole possession of the lead. Slams the door in the face of Jesse Love.
Now Love goes goes wide. Here comes Smith. He'll go up and he'll throw that block. That's Chandler Smith throwing blocks to keep the lead and keep Jesse Love behind him. He's got A.J. Allmendinger in third. Now they're side by side from fourth on back.
Here they come into turn 3. Jesse Love not intimidated at all by the moves of Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith this time goes high. Here comes Jesse Love down on the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to bring Sammy Smith with him. Side by side to the top spot, Jesse Love and Chandler Smith.
Chandler Smith on the outside lane continues to have the advantage by half of a car. 24 laps to go here in Talladega. Chandler Smith now leading this time by at the start-finish line as the race leader A.J. Allmendinger second, Austin Hill third, Jesse Love fourth, and Sheldon Creed fifth. But again, they're all 2 by 2 as they race their way down the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. From Talladega Super Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Change at the start-finish line for the race lead. This time it's A.J. Allmendinger who goes to the top of the leaderboard as we get down to it with just 21 laps remaining. Whether your project is below ground, above ground, or you're just breaking ground, United Rentals has the equipment and tools you need to get the job done right. Backed by a team of experts and a suite of digital tools, United Rentals is ready to help you work united for a smarter, safer, and more sustainable work site.
A.J. Allmendinger out front in turn number 3. We've had 11 different leaders today, 19 different lead changes, 20 laps to go. And Alex, I don't care how long you have been coming to Talladega, every time we show up, we're amazed. Controlled chaos on the racetrack.
It is amazing, and it doesn't get old. It just doesn't. When these drivers show you why they are what they are. Special, talented individuals, Dave Moody, who can do some unthinkable things with a race car.
Shane Van Gisbergen a lap ago, Alex, made a testosterone-rich move. He went from the middle lane down across the nose of Justin Allgaier. He had a car length at about 3/8 of an inch to fit that machine into, and he pulled it off.
Right now, SVG falling in line, trying to administer drafting help, trying to create some drafting help of his own is Sheldon Creed. He'll bust out into 3-wide territory right in the middle in 3.
On that high lane, you can see Justin Allgaier trying to bring Carson Kvapil with him. That did not work. Allgaier trying to get something motivated, get going on that third lane to the outside. He's got Anthony Alfredo and Austin Hill in tow.
And that's how quickly things can change, because Sheldon Creed had been up on the outside. Oh, we got trouble right here. Shane Van Gisbergen Gisbergen gets turned right at the start-finish line. Josh Williams involved, others involved. Taylor Gray gets turned around, and we are under the caution flag.
Something broke on Shane Van Gisbergen's car, Jeff. He went down below the double yellow line on the short straightaway coming off turn 4, Todd, and stayed right at the bottom of the racetrack.
I think there was contact. He got a little wide off of turn 4. We'll watch this again, but I think he got a little wide, and the 26 got to his inside, started there. Shane tried to block the door. That shuffled him down onto the flat of the tri-oval, and it went on from there.
Yeah, we just wiped out some of our playoff contending cars. Austin Hill also all torn up. A car that has run up front all day long, trying to have a good run, something that he just has not been able to do here at Talladega. Austin Hill involved. So we put him under the caution flag for the 4th time. 19, make it 18 next time by. It all broke out coming off of turn number 4. You were watching Shane Van Gisbergen. He may have gotten a bump as he made his way back to the tri-oval. Alex, what do you see?
Yeah, same thing, exactly what Todd Gordon said. He got a little bit of tap in the left rear corner of the car. He did a nice job to keep it in the right direction, but rolled out of the throttle and went down below the double YOLO line. Everybody began to check up there, and the wreck was on after that. But it all started with a slight bump on the back bumper from Dean Thompson on the Shane Van Gisbergen car.
Next time by, 18 to go. It's A.J. Allmendinger out front at the moment under caution over Sammy Smith and Riley Herbst. Eric Almirola, Chandler Smith, top 5. We'll recap all of those involved in this accident with now 18, soon to be 17 laps to go. As we work under the caution flag, it's A.J. Allmendinger at the front of the field from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Well, we just junked a number of very good race cars. Shane Van Gisbergen just now climbing out of his car, a playoff driver. Austin Hill, quickly, let's get an update on Austin, also a playoff driver. Dylan Welch.
Yeah, he's got a lot of damage on his race car. The left rear fender, the quarter panel, basically was almost separated into 2 pieces, so they taped that back together, and they'll have to cut away some of the bare bond that's over the left rear tire. There was also work being done on the left front. The crew was underneath the left front wheel well, sawing away some, I think, of the bracing and things that were just kind of barely holding the front bumper on, so they're trying to get that sorted out, as well as fix the rear deck lid. There's a big hole back there from the damage he he got when he presumably got rear-ended in that crash. So a lot of damage, major damage on the left side for Austin Hill. Remember, his best finish here is just 14th. He doesn't have any top 10s here, so he's going to have to fight hard to stay in the playoff mix here and just have a good day out of this.
Right now, as they sit on the leaderboard and the point standings, Austin Hill has a 15-point cushion to the good, but once we start finding out who's going to be out of the race and laps continue to click off, that will be something that will change throughout the running of this race. No fewer, Jeff, than I have, 8 cars at minimum right now involved in this crash.
So we know that it's Shane Van Gisbergen involved, Taylor Gray, Dean Thompson, David Starr, and by the way, just a tip of the cap to David and that team. He was running with that lead pack, and David had been doing that all afternoon long. He's just one of the 8 cars involved. I gave you 4. What else do you have, Alex?
Parker Retzloff got some of that crash. Jordan Anderson got a big chunk of it. Austin Hill, and also the driver Josh Williams got a big mix of that as well. 8 drivers who have significant damage, some form or fashion, on their race cars, Jeff. There may be a driver or 2 more that has a nick on the side of their car. We'll find out here in the closing laps. We're going to get down to 16 to go, and pit road will be open this time by.
We'll see if anybody elects to come to pit road under this caution. Lap number 78 with 16 laps to go. It looks like Jesse Love may be the first one to bring his, actually that's Parker Kligerman. We do see Brandon Jones. Jesse Love indeed is also on pit road. Jason Toy, pit road is open. Your opportunity, if you want it, is right now.
Dean Thompson's going to come in. He has some damage on the left front corner of his Toyota. Also, Joe Martin is also down here on the pit lane. So some of these guys taking their final set of Goodyear Racing Eagles. Steve Post, you got some in front of you.
Yeah, Jesse Love is down here, and they were just trapped toward the back of the field. Danny Stockman wanted to make one minor adjustment on the car. Put 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel in the Whelen Chevrolet. Brandon Jones also toward the back of the field. He's pitting, he's down and away. They wanted to just make one minor adjustment as well. Saw Parker Kligerman come down pit road as well. Parker has had damaged race car, and they took a chance to work on that a little bit more and put 4 Goodyear Racing Eagles on that car.
16 laps to go here at Talladega Super Speedway, with A.J. Allmendinger being scored the race leader. From Talladega Super Speedway, this is Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Working caution flag number 4 of the afternoon here in the United Rentals 250. With 15 laps to go, here's how the cars line up. It's A.J. Allmendinger, the race leader. Sammy Smith is second, and Eric Almirola is third. Riley Herbst fourth. Chandler Smith is fifth. Sheldon Creed goes sixth. Seventh is Carson Kvapil. Eighth is Justin Allgaier. Ninth, Anthony Alfredo. And 10th is Sam Mayer.
Dylan Lupton is up to 11th in front of Leland Honeyman. He's 12th. Ryan Sieg, Blaine Perkins, and Cole Custer make up your top 15. Matt DiBenedetto 16th. Jesse Love, who was on pit road just a moment ago, is 17th. Brandon Jones, Brennan Poole, Parker Kligerman make up your top 20.
21st is C.J. McLaughlin. Ryan Ellis is 22nd. Tommy Joe Martins is 23rd. Parker Retzlaff 24th. Kyle Sieg 25th. 26th is Carson Ware. 27th, Jeb Burton. 28th, that's Joey Gase. David Starr 29th, and Dean Thompson is 30th.
Austin Hill is 31st, and Austin Hill right now leaving his pit box. That car is used up. Will it last the rest of the way? We'll find out. Taylor Gray 32nd. That's a big blow to him. Jordan Anderson 33rd. Josh Williams 34th. Shane Van Gisbergen, playoff driver, big blow there. He's 35th. Kyle Weatherman 36th. Jeremy Clements 37th. Nick Lights out early and finishing 38th.
That puts Shane Van Gisbergen 20 points out of the playoff cut line with a road course still to go in this round. So not all is lost there for Shane Van Gisbergen. Obviously, he stars turning both left and right and changing gears as well as he does.
Boy, wouldn't that be a walk-off if next week at the Charlotte Roval, Shane Van Gisbergen, who is out with 15, make it 14 laps to go, and well below the cut line, could go there. Todd Gordon, do what he does best, drive his car, road racing, Charlotte Roval, and walk out of there with a win, advancing to the round of 8?
I wouldn't call it out of the question. I think that would be almost a probability, given how he's run this season. It will be interesting to see how that plays out and what we get out of that cutoff race next week. But before that, how this one unfolds and where these points positions shuffle in the next 14 laps.
Yeah, we still have a lot of racing to go in these 14 laps. And 3 of the top 6 cars in the running order right now are Toyota GR Supras. The last time Toyota won in the Xfinity Series here at Talladega was 10 years ago, May 2014, when Elliott Sadler was the driver there. To put that in some perspective, Toyota has won 120 times on 27 different racetracks since they last won here at Talladega.
Well, they're going to try to do that right now with Eric Almirola, Chandler Smith, and Sheldon Creed. Those are the 3 Toyota Supras that are running in the top 10. Eric is up to 3rd. What a day, what an afternoon it's been for Eric Almirola. They failed inspection. If you were not with us earlier when we talked about it, they failed it and failed it again. He had to start at the tail. He made a pass-through penalty, went a lap down, got the lap back, climbed a leaderboard, and now has put himself in position to walk out of here with a trophy.
It was a windshield infraction on that car, and when you deal with the aerodynamics in the draft, that is something NASCAR will take a close look at every single time you go through inspection. We head for the Geico restart zone.
13 laps to go here this afternoon at Talladega. A.J. Allmendinger on the inside, trying to go to victory lane for the second time here. Sammy Smith to his outside, Eric Almirola, Riley Herbst. We're back at it again as they head to 1.
Up to full song as they hit the banking in turns 1 and 2. A.J. Allmendinger with a push from Riley Herbst down low. He'll go to the lead. Herbst will go to 2nd. Chandler Smith to 3rd. Up the inside, here comes Justin Allgaier for 4th.
Outside lane did not come up to full song like we thought it would. The inside line advances, and now quickly the dynamic changes. Here's Allmendinger, Herbst, and Chandler Smith. A 3-car breakaway up front.
Single file formation among the top 4, although now Chandler Smith took a look down to the bottom side. Sammy Smith will now draw up alongside Chandler Smith. That's the fight for 3rd, but it is still Allmendinger leading the field off turn 4.
He's going to the outside. Now will dive to the bottom side of the racetrack, leave top side wide open. A car with a problem goes up against the wall. A flat left front tire from one of the cars cars that's damaged. That's Kyle Sieg. We stay under the green flag as we go side by side racing, or check that. It's Eric Almirola with the problem on the left front corner as we stay under the green flag.
Almirola well off the pace as the pack steams away through turn 1 and 2. Battles for the lead. Allmendinger down low. Now Riley Herbst up high.
Ford and Chevy on that front row up the Alabama Gang super stretch, looking 3 wide further back. Everybody jostling for real estate. The front 4 have broken away in side-by-side formation.
A.J. Allmendinger barely getting a nose out in front of Riley Herbst, although Riley Herbst rallies back out in that middle groove, so they are absolutely wheel to wheel as Allmendinger wiggled just a little bit, almost collected Herbst. Sammy Smith and Chandler Smith right behind.
And by the way, Eric Almirola, left front damage, tire down, limping his way back onto pit road. We're down to 11 to go. Riley Herbst has his Ford Mustang out front.
Haven't heard a lot from Riley at the front of the pack this afternoon, but he's there now as they make their way into turns 1 and 2.
Caution is on the speedway. Some debris has been put down from the damaged race car of Eric Almirola, who's just now making his way onto pit road. Almirola is going to bring his car down to the attention of his team, but Jeff, that left front wheel was not even spinning.
No, it wasn't. He obviously made contact with somebody, Jason Toy, because the left front shoved in, tire down.
It's real big time damage on that left front. As he was going down the back straightaway, the left front tire was not even turning. So they're going to work. They've completed work on the right side. Now they're looking at that left front. Looks like it's going to take a little while. They're starting to beat and bang here for one of the fastest cars here. They had to go from the back to the front here this afternoon in Eric Almirola.
And they are battling for the Owners' Championship, so this is something that they could not afford to have here in the late going at Talladega, Todd.
But they won the race prior, so they're on to the next round already in the Owners' Championship. This one really is almost a good time for them because they've already cashed their ticket through to the next round.
10 laps to go here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Under caution, Riley Herbst, Sammy Smith, A.J. Allmendinger, Justin Allgaier, and Chandler Smith, the top 5, all playoff drivers. Nine laps to go, but we're a long way to the end of this one. Stay with us. Riley Herbst trying to close it out. We work under the caution flag. Green flag coming up shortly from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Playoff driver Austin Hill right now running 29th with a used up race car. Shane Van Gisbergen 22 below the cut line out of the event, and he will be scored Alex Hayden 35th after a really solid run today.
Yeah, he will be, and it's just a difficult deal, but he got some valuable experience and valuable laps here in the draft at Talladega. He'll be a full-time NASCAR Cup Series driver next year, so that is something that Shane and that entire organization is looking forward to next year at Trackhouse. But Shane Van Gisbergen, very likable driver. He's obviously talented and a very quick study.
A three-time winner, all of those wins coming on road courses. And again, we head there next week talking about Shane Van Gisbergen. Let's hear from him right now.
He is out of the infield care center and just got a chance to look at the replay. So what'd you see there and what'd you feel from the cockpit?
I didn't watch it. I was in it. So, but yeah, it sucks. Yeah, kind of got pushed out of line and trying to get back up. There was some more shit happening, so I got caught up in that, which sucks. But yeah, WeatherTech Camaro was really good as we tightened it up, and yeah, we had speed, ran near the front, so a bit gutted.
Now, what positives can you take from today, though? It seemed like you did take a big step forward just in your own kind of experience at the super speedways.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, felt like we were comfortable running up there and able to make some moves, and yeah, I felt confident moving around and trying stuff, so yeah, I guess that's a good thing.
Bummer way to end it for sure for SVG. They're just going to have to go get it done next week at the Roval.
Yeah, they are. We apologize for the language there, but Shane Van Gisbergen, again, giving you the personality and letting you know why he's such a likable race car driver. Again, full-time next year in the NASCAR Cup Series. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Motor Racing Network live at Talladega Super Speedway. The NASCAR Xfinity Series closing up the United Rentals 250. There's 8 laps to go. My name is Alex Hayden. Alongside is Jeff Striegel and Todd Gordon with Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, and Dan Hubbard out in the turns for us this afternoon. And up and down the pit lane are Steve Post, Jason Toy, and Dylan Welch.
We'll have 7 laps of racing remain unless we take it to overtime, and we may. 8 of the top 10 drivers for the restart are playoff drivers. Riley Herbst, Sammy Smith, A.J. Allmendinger, Justin Allgaier, and Chandler Smith, top 5, all playoff drivers. Carson Kvapil and Anthony Alfredo go 6-7. They're not playoff drivers, and they line up in front of Sam Mayer, Jesse Love, and Sheldon Creed, who also are playoff drivers. Todd Gordon, time to settle it here.
Yeah, it is, and this lineup and the order you just gave them, that will all be shook up by the time we get to the checkered flag here. Really looking at where we've had cars with speed. A.J. Allmendinger's had a couple of recoveries to drive back through the field. Riley Herbst's been up there the whole time. Chandler Smith, the lone Toyota right up there in the front 5, but he's been really strong up there. Going to be interesting to see where else plays out.
Steve Post, according to my numbers, the majority of the lead lap and draft cars will last on the pit lane around lap number 53. Just as a follow-up, how are they on Sunoco fuel?
They're good on Sunoco fuel. That's 41 laps. The window we heard was 46-ish, so they were good at that point, and these cautions are helping as well. So fuel is not an issue.
Getting ready to go back under the green flag to 25-year-old driver from Las Vegas, Nevada, Riley Herbst, ready to lead him to green. He was runner-up here the last time the Xfinity Series raced at Talladega. Wants to go one better right now. Green flag goes back in the air. Time to settle it with 7 to go. Riley on the inside, Sammy Smith outside. Row 2, A.J. Allmendinger and Justin Allgaier.
They'll race side by side into turn number 1. Nobody able to get the advantage. Riley Herbst by a bumper, by a fender, now by a door. Plenty of drafting help. A.J. Allmendinger giving him a shove. Chandler Smith in turn, shoving Allmendinger. They get away for the top 3.
Riley Herbst will swing wide. He'll go upstairs. Chandler Smith jumps up there as well. A.J. Allmendinger stays down low. Side by side for the lead. Dinger down low. He's got no drafting help behind him in 3.
Let's see what kind of speed A.J. Allmendinger can generate on that bottom groove with absolutely no help. Riley Herbst takes over the top spot from that high center groove, and now right behind him is Chandler Smith, as well as Sammy Smith and Justin Allgaier.
A.J. Allmendinger doing all he can using the side trap. He's fallen going back to a side-by-side battle for the number 5 spot. Hang on, AJ, help is on the way. Sam Mayer is on the charge. He'll go to the bottom, as does Dylan Lupton.
No love for the Dinger right now, but they are coming, as Alex said, dropping down out of line. Here comes Sammy Smith. He dives to the bottom. With drafting help from his Junior Motorsports teammates, he'll go to the lead.
Now Riley Herbst and Chandler Smith have been left high and dry. That leaves the inside lane open for Sammy Smith. Smith goes to the top of the leaderboard halfway down the back straightaway. Now Riley Herbst and Chandler Smith go topside, trying to corral as much drafting help as possible.
Chandler Smith not yet to the bumper of Riley Herbst. That gives Sammy Smith a good look down to the bottom as Justin Allgaier is right on his bumper. Brandon Jones right behind him, and to his right is Riley Herbst fighting hard for the 3rd position.
5 laps to go here at the Talladega Superspeedway. If you've got anything left at all, it's time to use it up. Sammy Smith across the line. Justin Allgaier right behind, and so is Brandon Jones.
Give a tug on those shoulder straps. Tighten up the helmet. Here they come into turn number 1. 3 wide, back around 12th place. Front of the pack, it's the Junior Motorsports tandem. Sammy Smith, Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones in 3rd.
Now Sammy Smith and Justin Allgaier go topside. Allgaier's going to break ranks with his teammate. Allgaier to the bottom of the back straightaway. Justin Allgaier to the lead at Talladega.
Nice nifty move by Justin Allgaier as he comes into turn 3. Brandon Jones now right behind him. Riley Herbst in that 3rd spot, make that the 2nd spot as he battles with Brandon Jones. But it's Justin Allgaier, your new leader at Talladega.
4 of the top 6 Junior Motorsports Chevrolets at the front of the field. One of those is Justin Allgaier. He's got a trunk full, however, of the Ford Mustang of Riley Herbst. Downstairs, Brandon Jones and Sammy Smith are there.
A solid run for Junior Motorsports, but don't count those chickens quite yet. We've got a long way to go still here at Talladega. Justin Allgaier all by himself for the lead. Riley Herbst up to the outside lane is 2nd.
Now Brandon Jones leads the lane down low. Sammy Smith leads the lane in the middle. Justin Allgaier has no teammates around him. Here comes Riley Herbst. He'll rumble out of the pocket to the inside, trying to take the lead away.
And they're side by side for the top spot, although Allgaier gets a little bit of help from Chandler Smith. It's momentary as Chandler Smith gets Allgaier a bit loose. Now he gets out of the way, goes in that middle groove. Chandler Smith trying to wrestle the lead away from Riley Herbst.
190 mile an hour bump and run at Talladega, executed by Chandler Smith. Allgaier chased the car up the hill, keeps his right foot planted. Allgaier now on the outside of 3 wide for the trouble. Allgaier gets turned. He's in the outside wall. Brandon Jones slams the wall. You've got Carson Quapple involved in the crash. The smoke fills turn 1 as they crash into turn 2.
Allgaier's got a piece of it. Also trapped up in it is Parker Kligerman. It is now a multi-car crash. Brandon Jones with a vicious lick into the outside wall. Austin Hill is in it yet again. A number of other cars. This is about a 12, maybe 13-car pileup. A.J. Allmendinger limping on the apron. Serious damage. Cole Custer is torn up now. The list continues to grow, and they are mostly playoff contenders.
And that will change everything, and we will head to overtime. Caution flag number 6, a multi-car pileup right at the front of the field, headed into turn number 1. Brandon Jones with a vicious hit up in turn number 1. A number of drivers involved. Parker Kligerman, Cole Custer, Carson Quapple, Brandon Jones. The list will grow and grow as we wad them up going into 1. We're going to put the red flag out. We believe the cars are coming to a stop down towards the entrance of pit road. It all broke out past the tri-oval, headed to 1.
Yeah, they're going to put the red flag out because we're going to be down to just 2 laps to go. So instead of going into overtime imminently, we're going to try to stop this, get the cleanup taken care of, and tend to all the drivers who were unable to drive away from the accident site.
Big mess down there in turn number 1. You saw Brandon Jones, the first car that looked like he may have gotten turned sideways. Carson Quapple was in the middle. Let's see what happens here. And it looks like it is indeed Carson Quapple who gets turned by Brandon Jones. That sends Justin Allgaier up to the outside wall. Anthony Alfredo, part of this mix. Jesse Love.
Red flag is out at the start-finish line. The field has been stopped just shy of the pit lane entrance as cleanup continues for a multi-car crash over in turn number 1. We'll recap it for you in just a moment. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The big one at Talladega unfolding with just 3 laps to go.
Red flag is out here at the Talladega Superspeedway as we were just put under the caution flag again for a multi-car crash that just happened coming off of the Tri-Oval. Todd Gordon, you've had multiple opportunities via NASCAR TV here to take a peek at it. What did you see?
Looked to me like, you know, it's just the anxiety that comes with 3 to go. Everybody's pushing for all they've got. The Tri-Oval is the worst place. It's the worst place for these cars to handle. You're going through a corner. It's not banked like the corners are, so it's kind of the sketchiest place for these cars. Looked like Brandon Jones was pushing on the rookie Carson Quaffle, trying to get him through there. Got him a little bit loose. He got off and he got out of shape. And the overcorrection there as that happened got him down into the car below him and hooked him back up into the top, and then just carnage of everybody that got collected from those guys coming off the phone.
Yeah, we've got a number of cars that are involved. We'll give you all of those cars here in just a moment. Alex pointed out he was correct. We're under the red. We'll take this thing to overtime. Under the red, it's Riley Herbst, Chandler Smith, Sammy Smith, top 3. Downstairs we go to Steve Post.
Yeah, and you just mentioned that Chandler Smith, one of those drivers those drivers in the top 3 that's out on the racetrack. His crew chief is Jeff Mendering. Jeff, this race so far, how has Chandler done? How's the car performed?
Yeah, I mean, the Wheelers Toyota's been really good today. Chandler's done a great job. I mean, our goal coming into these races is to try to stay ahead of the chaos, and we've done a good job of doing that so far today. Hopefully we can finish it off.
All right, so yeah, thus far you've stayed ahead of the chaos. Is there something right now you've seen in the way the car is handled, the way he's driving, that maybe you can punch your ticket into the next round?
I mean, we've got pretty high hopes right now. It's looked really good. Our speeds looked really good today, and he's made really good decisions. So, yeah, I think we have a really great shot at this.
Good shot, that's for sure. That's Jeff Mendering, crew chief for Chandler Smith. I believe unofficially right now will restart in the 2nd spot.
One of only 2 Toyotas inside the top 10, the other being Sheldon Creed in the 9th spot. And again, the field has been stopped on the short straightaway shy of the entrance to pit road. Not exactly sure who's going to come to pit lane, not sure who's going to come in and check the tires, who's going to stay on the racetrack, but a lot of cleanup still has to take place over in turns 1 and 2.
Let's see if we can recap those that are involved. I have a list, you have a list. It will continue to grow because we can't see everybody that may have clipped and picked up damage. Cole Custer, Carson Quappel, Brandon Jones, Parker Kligerman, Parker Retzloff, Blaine Perkins, Jesse Love, and Anthony Alfredo. Those are the drivers that I had. Anybody that you had to add to the list?
We need to add Austin Hill back to his 2nd time involved in a crash. Jeff Burton also got a piece of that crash as well. 2nd time today he has been involved in the crash. And what about Justin Allgaier, Jeff? He came into Kansas last week to start the playoffs atop the point standings, lost 28 points and found himself below the cut line at the green flag today. Coming into this race, Allgaier needed something positive. He's finished 17th or or worse in the last 4 consecutive races in the Xfinity Series, and that's been the longest streak of his Xfinity career, finishing outside the top 15. Now he's got a beat-up race car. With the red flag, I'm not sure that he's going to be able to continue on or not.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's bring in Mike Bagley, because, Mike, you can explain just how quickly things can change. Justin Allgaier running at the front of the field, or at least working that outside lane, right up against the outside safer barrier, and looking good right up until Sheldon Creed bailed on him, and then all of a sudden it was Justin Allgaier going the wrong way. 1 minute you're up front and trying to lead at Talladega. The next minute you're trying to stay inside the top 10.
And that is part of what racing at Talladega is all about. One split second, you're fine, you're good to go. Next thing you know, you're shuffled out of the draft and you're trying to get back on solid footing, get your sea legs underneath of you. You fall back into what is termed to be an unsavory traffic pocket, as it were, and that's what exactly happened to Justin Allgaier. It changes at a moment's notice, and there's still opportunities once we go back under the green flag for the same thing to happen. It's all about what is racing at Talladega.
It is a challenge, and with no lights here at Talladega Superspeedway, we still have plenty of daylight. That's not going to be a factor at all. We still have 3 laps to go, but cleanup, it's a big process, and it's all still taking place in turns 1 and 2. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Cleanup continues here at Talladega as we sit under the red flag. We check in with Dylan Welch at the Infield Care Center.
And Parker Retzlaff is the first to emerge. So what was your view on what happened out there and how'd you got collected?
Yeah, I mean, I had it all missed until the 48 came back up the racetrack and just landed in my lap. So it's just how these races go. It's just how these racing is. It just, I don't enjoy it very much, but it's something we got to do, and it's just, it sucks for everyone on this 31 Funkaway Chevy, and we'll go to next week.
All right, bummer for Parker Retzlaff. Let's step over here and grab Anthony Alfredo, too, who had a really, really nice day going. What was your view of what happened and how you got collected in that?
Yeah, I haven't seen a replay yet, so I don't know what started it, but I just saw someone get turned in front of me and the guy on the outside, and they both kind of went into each other, and I was directly behind it. So I checked up, and I actually thought I had it missed for a split second. Then the guys behind me just couldn't stop in time. Obviously, we're in a big pack going really fast, so I got turned head on the outside wall, and it's a shame. We had such a fast, dead-on tooled Chevrolet Camaro, and we're definitely in position. I feel like it's just tough as a single car, small team with no teammates to make anything happen. You know, you have every move I make, everyone does the opposite as me. And I don't know how many times I can put myself up front in these races to show I know what I'm doing and have plenty of speed for guys to go with me, but obviously it's a playoff race too, so I think that's kind of part of it for the aggression. But we put ourselves in position. That's the product of super speedway sometimes. So one of these days we'll get one. We keep putting ourselves in the right spot, but thank you.
They were definitely fast today. Thanks, Anthony.
Demolition Derby cars are on pit road. They include A.J. Allmendinger and two of very fast race cars in front of you, Posty.
Yeah, two of our playoff drivers down here. Justin Allgaier will start with the Brandt Chevrolet. They're just tearing fenders off the front of it right now, just trying to get clearance on the front of this thing and just working on that, just trying to get fenders and stuff up off from the wheels. All of their efforts are on the front half of the car. When we look back 2 pit boxes back, Cole Custer is here. They are really working on the right front of the car. The hood is all bowed up. One crew member just in frustration just started punching the hood trying to get that down. They seem more focused up under the right front of the Cole Custer car, maybe a suspension piece or part as well. So Dylan Lupton, the other car down here, so a lot of work going on, but the Custer and Allgaier cars most notably as playoff drivers running into problems here late in the day at Talladega.
Now the triage continues for A.J. Allmendinger's car in front of Jason Toy.
Yeah, they continue to work on it. The concentrations on the left front, the nose piece has gotten knocked off. They brought the Zolzols out. They've cut away some of the metal to try to get it pushed back up. Now the Bondo tape is going on too. They've already changed the tires, and they've already worked on the right rear corner here for A.J. Allmendinger. But a lot of damage fixing here for one of our playoff contenders. Looking further down, Parker Kligerman. He's back a second time. They're continuing to work on the right rear of his Chevrolet.
So we're going to head to overtime here. Jason, Steve, Dylan Welch down on pit road. Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, Dan Hubbard out in the turns. We're headed there. Not a big surprise. We've done that here before. Riley Herbst in his Mustang, Sammy Smith in his Chevrolet, Chandler Smith in his Toyota. That's the top 3 under caution. Back with the restart coming up shortly. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
This is Justin Allgaier, and you're listening to the NASCAR Playoffs on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
So again, we are headed to overtime. We'll explain that here in a moment. Quick look at the top 10, and there are some new names. Not a surprise. when you wipe out 8 of the top 10, you're going to have some new players up there. Riley Herbst, Sammy Smith, Chandler Smith, top 3 in playoff drivers. Leland Honeyman right now is running 4th, a non-playoff driver, in front of Sheldon Creed and Jesse Love, both playoff drivers. 7th is Ryan Sieg, non-playoff driver. Sam Mayer is 8th. Then you get back, and how about this, Alex Hayden? David Starr, Brennan Poole, 9 and 10.
Yeah, and most of those cars have some damage on them, including Jesse Love's car. He's got some damage on the race car. David Starr's got a little bit on his race car as well. 11th will be Kyle Sieg. Tommy Joe Martins was not supposed to drive this race car today. He's now being scored in the 12th position. Cesar Baccarella was the driver who qualified the car earlier today at Talladega, but started having some headaches and some migraines, and he got out of the car. Tommy Joe Martins jumped in it, finds himself running in the 12th spot as we get set for overtime. Dean Thompson is 13th, Joey Gase 14th, Ryan Ellis is 15th, Carson Ware is 16th, 17th, CJ McLaughlin, Matt DiBenedetto is 18th, Blaine Perkins 19th, and Austin Hill is 20th.
Stat of the day here on David Starr, who is right now running in position number 9. The last top 10 finish, top 10 for David Starr, came in June of 2017.
Well, it's nice to see him back in an Xfinity car and running at least right now in the top 10. So we're headed to overtime. And if you're not sure how overtime works in NASCAR racing, we'll come around, take the green flag. If a caution flag comes out immediately, then we'll slow things down, reset it, and we'll do another green-white checker. We'll do unlimited attempts at that. If we take the green flag and run a full lap under the green, the leader gets to the start-finish line and the white flag and takes it, then the next flag ends the race. If we stay green all the way around another lap to the checkered flag, or if there's a big crash or some sort of a reason NASCAR has to slow the field down, puts the caution out, they will then freeze the field wherever they're at on the racetrack and declare the winner, whoever is out front.
Simple. 2-lap run to the black and white checkered flag. It sounds simple, easier said than done, right?
Yeah, it is much easier said than done here, especially because you can be in 10th and see an opportunity to get the win. I think it's not a situation where you've got the front row deciding this. Anybody in the top 10 cars has a shot at winning this race.
As a matter of fact, we have 24 cars still on the lead lap. Believe it or not, Parker Kligerman is on the lead lap. A.J. Allmendinger's on the lead lap. Austin Hill, his car's been wrecked not once but twice. It still rolls in the same direction it's supposed to. He is on the lead lap in 20th.
24 cars on the lead lap. The man out front who'll get on the gas first is Riley Herbst. He went to victory lane most recently at Indianapolis. He's looking for his 3rd career win. His other win came at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So Riley Herbst in the Ford is the man that will lead the field of the green flag. Mike Bagley, the field over there in front of you, forming up and getting ready to go.
They are stacked up double wide behind the Chevy Camaro safety car. Riley Herbst restarting on the bottom. Sammy Smith topside. Chandler Smith and Sheldon Creed in row 2. You talk about Leland Honeyman and Ryan Sieg in row number 3. Going to be a very interesting restart with not a lot of time to get the job done here before the checkered flag flies.
And Dan Hubbard in turns 3 and 4. Dan, the outside lane most of the way around has been fast, but we've seen in your area the bottom side really pick up pace.
Well, I tell you what, Alex, I think we've seen it go both ways, but for the most part through turns 3 and 4, it is that bottom lane that seems to have the advantage. Just a quick observation. I'm looking at Sheldon Creed. He is in that second row, and he is tired of finishing second so far in 2024. Keep an eye on Sheldon Creed.
We will indeed, as the pace car makes the left-hand turn and pulls onto the pit lane. They got to wait till the middle of the tri-oval to get to the Geico restart zone to get this race restarted.
Riley Herbst has led 20 laps here this afternoon. He'd like to make it 22, and if he could do that, more than likely we'll be talking to him in victory lane. Overtime at Talladega, we're back at it. Sammy Smith on the outside. Right behind comes Sheldon Creed and Leland Honeyman.
Herbst on the inside, Smith on the outside. Nobody able to get the advantage. As a matter of fact, the top 6, all nose to tail and inches apart, begin to inch away from row 4, 5, and 6 on back. It's Riley Herbst by just a fender.
There is is very tight formation with the front four now as it makes its way up the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Riley Herbst, Chandler Smith on the bottom. Top side, Sheldon Creed. Oh, and Creed's going to bail out on Sammy Smith in 3.
Here they come. It is Riley Herbst in that top spot. Chandler Smith in second. They are single file formation in the top 4. You've got Sheldon Creed in that 4th spot right behind Sammy Smith. 4-car breakaway over the front. As Sheldon Creed now steps out of line.
He'll go to the outside lane. He's going to have some drafting help. As a matter of fact, the Toyota of Chandler Smith goes up right in front of him. Riley Herbst blocks the lane. White flag is in the air. Next flag ends it. It's Riley Herbst at the front of the field.
Herbst goes to the outside to block that assault, but the bottom lane is now wide open. Sammy Smith steps into it. They're going 3 wide up the middle. Chandler Smith with a spectacular move. Smith to the middle will go for the lead.
Riley Herbst is shuffled out of the draft up against the outside wall. Chandler Smith takes the lead. He'll go up in front of Herbst to block. Sammy Smith alongside Herbst. Sammy Smith with the run. Sammy Smith looking for the lead in 3.
Side by side with Chandler Smith. They are absolutely wheel to wheel for the top spot here at Talladega. They make their way around turns 3 and 4. This one is going to go right down to the front.
Racing back to the tri-oval for the final time. Checkered flag is in the air. Sammy Smith all the way down, almost on the apron. Ryan Sieg, one last run, not going to get there, and Sammy Smith has scored the win here at the Talladega Super Speedway. He claims the win in the United Reynolds 250. We did have a car spin right there at the tail end going into turn number 1.
It was Sheldon Creed got turned down. He did not make contact with the wall, but the celebration is on in front of Jason Toy.
Philip Bell and the crew, they came in at the bottom part of the playoffs here today. They told Sammy to stay focused, look out front that windshield, and that's exactly what he did. He worked with the spotter that got him towards the front. Now they don't have to worry about that race next week. They're moving on to the playoffs here for Sammy Smith. From the bottom to the top, he's getting the job done tonight.
Yeah, he was dead last, 12th on the grid coming in, 12th of the 12 playoff drivers. Doesn't matter now. Sammy Smith has won here at the Talladega Super Speedway.
NASCAR Live Race Day continues on the Motor Racing Network.
It was March of 2023, the first time Sammy Smith went to victory lane. That was at the Phoenix Raceway. His second trip will be here this afternoon at the Talladega Super Speedway. Motor Racing Network with live coverage of the United Reynolds 250, and it didn't disappoint.
Oh, no, it never disappoints at Talladega Super Speedway. Sammy Smith came into the race last on the playoff grid. He has now made his way into the next round of the playoffs. What a drive and what an effort from that entire opportunity down there. As, well, we look down at the pit lane right now. Steve Post, I see you down there around the Chandler Smith car, and there's a lot of people milling around.
Well, Riley Herbst is the first one to mill around here. Him and Chandler are having a discussion. It's rather calm, but you can tell they're not on the same page as far as what happened out there on the racetrack, and now they peaceably part. And as a matter of fact, Dylan, I see you saddle up alongside of Riley Herbst. So Dylan, what's Riley saying?
Yeah, let's see if we can step in here and grab a word with Riley, who comes home in the top 5 today. So what was the conversation there that you just had with Chandler?
No, I was just telling him that he had his teammate behind him, which he's in the best spot you want to be in, and I told him that he made the right move, but he made it in the extreme wrong place. All he did was kill it. I asked him simply, where'd you finish? He said 5th. I said, I don't know why you took that run off of 2 when you could have waited into 3 and 4, and he would have won the race because he had his teammate committed behind him, and all he did was kill my run, his teammate's run, and let the 8 get away. So I was just a little frustrated that he didn't have more understanding of the situation. And yeah, I wanted to win the race. I thought we were fast enough, but I didn't have the help that he had. I knew he had the help. When I looked up and I saw the 18, I was like, I'm going to be in trouble here, but I was like, there's no way he would do it off of 2 because that's just not smart because there's so much time left. So I was just letting him know that he needs to go watch the film and see he could have won the race.
How would you evaluate your day and your performance?
I thought it was okay. I thought the first stage was dismal. We didn't get any points. Second stage was good. The driver messed up coming to the second stage. And we fought hard for the third stage to finish second or third or fourth or wherever it was. And yeah, I mean, it was a good day after embarrassing week last week.
All right, Riley Herbst comes home in the 3rd spot.
Yeah, it's a heck of a drive for Riley Herbst, and explained that one perfectly. Back downstairs, Steve Post.
Yeah, Chandler Smith's down here. Chandler, first and foremost, the little discussion you had there with Riley. What was the topic there?
We were just talking about different runs and this, that, and other, and he felt like if I did a certain thing, I would have won the race. And I don't know, I couldn't hear out of my left earbud, could barely hear out of my right one, and was just trying to listen to what my spotter Chris Lambert was saying and where to go and whatnot, and also look in the mirror and see where runs were coming from. So I felt like I did what I should have done, but obviously he feels like I could have won the race a different way, so I'm going to go back and study and figure out. I mean, I keep losing these damn super speedway races, and I come so close, and it's so frustrating. I want to get one so bad, and this group deserves one that bad, but had a really fast number 81 Wheelers GR Super today. It was as fast as Xfinity Internet, is obviously. Just sucks that I'm sitting here complaining when we came out. Sammy's the point leader now, I guess, because he advanced, but when you look at raw points, we're the point leader, and plus whatever, with a good buffer. But I'm still bummed. I'm still really upset about today's finish, but it could be worse, and just super grateful for everybody Joe Gibbs Racing and the good Lord for blessing me with such a great group of people around me all season.
No doubt about it, but put good perspective on it. That is Chandler Smith, 57 points, I believe, to the good. Dylan?
Jesse Love comes home in the 5th spot today. So wild day out there. You led some laps, were at the front of the field, but you just kind of summed it up to me as saying, that's Talladega.
Yeah, you're damn right. I mean, I thought we did a really good job today, actually. We've been good at the speedways, but I feel like my car kind of carried me, obviously, and I feel like today I was on a similar level of our equipment, so I was proud about that. Thought me and my spotter worked really well together. Good points day for us. Would have liked to get stage points that first stage, but can't always get them. So definitely not what we wanted, but I think we did all we could today. I think we run the race a few times. We win a couple of them, but today just wasn't one of those couple.
All right, he had a good couple races at Talladega this year, a win in the spring and a solid 5th place finish today. Steve?
Sheldon Creed down here debriefing with his team. Sheldon, you finished in the top 5 and you wrecked. All at the same moment there. Just kind of describe the way that race unfolded for you and your solid fourth place finish.
Yeah, I mean, overall, a pretty smooth day for us, just trying to avoid the chaos and the crashes and kind of do what we did, get points and finish good. So lining up 4th the last restart, I knew we were going to have a good shot. I was trying to give the 8 the best push I could, and we kind of got too far away from the rest of the pack, and then I was kind of trying to block coming to the white and fell back there. So to be able to make a few moves that last lap and get myself back in contention, and then, yeah, I got spun across the line. So overall good day. I think we're plus 25 or so going into the Roval, and hopefully we can just go and have a smooth day and hopefully maybe get our first win next week.
See what happens with it. Sheldon Creed in good, solid shape after a good, solid day here at Talladega Superspeedway.
Sammy Smith will advance to the next round of the playoffs. Here's a quick look at the playoff board. Chandler Smith in good shape. He's plus 57. Austin Hill plus 29. Cole Custer plus 28, and then Sheldon Creed, I should say, is correct on himself. He's plus 25. Jesse Love plus 15. Riley Herbst plus 13. And then you've got Sam Mayer plus 10. On the outside, minus 10 is A.J. Allmendinger. Minus 18 is Justin Allgaier. Minus 21, Shane Van Gisbergen. Minus 28, that is going to be Parker Kligerman. And for Justin Allgaier, another tough day for Allgaier as he has to settle for another deep finish.
So the day belongs to a 20-year-old driver from Johnston, Iowa, Sammy Smith, driving for Junior Motorsports. He's taking his team to victory lane after a hard-fought win, and let's visit with him right now. Mobile One, victory lane is where we're headed. Jason Toy is there with Sammy Smith.
Mobile One victory lane is electric right now as Sammy Smith has jumped out of the TMC Chevrolet here. He's giving big old hugs to all the crew guys that took care of him here throughout the afternoon to get the job done here at the Talladega Superspeedway. It's Sammy celebrating this one too, and all everybody down here's got those United Rental hard hats on out here. Sammy, come on in here, bud. Congratulations. Take us through that final restart and that green-white checkered flag run.
Yeah, it was tough. You know, my spotter Tyler Mon did a great job. It was a lot of him there, but man, I'm out of breath. It's been a tough year. It's been a tough challenge. Just thank you to all these guys that never gave up on me and all my sponsors as well.
Take us through this afternoon here. It seemed like you guys were fought on the back a little bit. You worked your way back up to the front. The pit guys gave you excellent pit work all day today to get you back out there, too. How was the afternoon? Did it stick to the plan?
It did, yeah. Yeah, we weren't as good as we wanted to the first stage, and we're able to get better and better and get there at the end of the race.
All right, coming in, you were at the bottom. Now you're at the top. You don't have to worry about the Roval next week. You move on to the next round. What kind of a relief is that for you?
It's a major relief. You know, we can focus on the second round and how we're going to advance to go win Phoenix.
You just won at Talladega. How about you? Has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Very, very cool.
There you go, Sammy Smith. He is a big winner here at Talladega and Mobile One Victory Lane.
What a drive for Sammy Smith. He brings it home in the number 1 spot. Ryan Sieg comes home second. Let's hear from Ryan Sieg.
Yeah, and matches his best career Talladega finish with this runner-up finish today. Got a hole in the nose. We don't know where that came from, but a great run for you guys. Anything on that last lap, just thinking back on it, that you wish you would have done differently?
No, I was just doing all I could do, trying to push the 8 and get him to move, but he stayed on the bottom, and then he just moved too late. We had a hole in the nose, so we knew not to move, you know what I mean, to get in the lead, and we just, you know what I mean, I was doing all I could do. All I could see was the 8, and hell, spotter was spotting the hell out of me out there, and just, you know what I mean, helping me guide me there, and just, you know what I mean, he tried to get the 8. He was open, the 8 was going to move, and we were going to go to the bottom and try to win it, but just the day we started with, it's pretty bad, and the day we ended was pretty good, so we just got to keep everything going positive and bring some morale up on the team. You know what I mean, we struggled with not making the chase and running kind of bad the past few weeks, so this is good. We just got to keep everything going and try to kick their butts in Vegas and Homestead.
That's right. Good shot in the arm for the RSS Racing bunch. Ryan Sieg comes home second today.
Thank you, Dylan. It's all over here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Sammy Smith with the win and celebrating in Mobile One Victory Lane. Ryan Sieg, Riley Herp, Sheldon Creed, Chandler Smith, your top 5. Jesse Love was 6th. Jeb Burton 7th. David Starr 8th. Brennan Poole 9th. And Kyle Sieg 10th.
A.J. Allmendinger was 11th. Parker Kligerman 12th. And Tommy Joe Martins 13th. Leland Honeyman settled for 14th, and Ryan Ellis was 15th. Sam Mayer goes 16th. Matt DiBenedetto finished 17th. C.J. McLaughlin was 18th. 19th was Blaine Perkins, and 20th was Eric Almirola.
21st, Dean Thompson. Joey Gase, 22nd. Carson Ware, 23rd. Austin Hill, 24th. 25th, Dylan Lupton. 26th to Justin Allgaier. 27th was Cole Custer. Carson Quapple, 28th. Brandon Jones, 29th. And Anthony Alfredo was 30th.
Parker Retzloff, 31st. Kyle Weatherman, 32nd. Taylor Gray was 33rd. Jordan Anderson, 34th. Josh Williams, 35th. Shane Van Gisbergen was 36th. Jeremy Clements, 37th. And Nick Lights finished 38th.
Tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern, it is the Yellowwood 500, the NASCAR Cup Series, rolling into action, Talladega. Todd Gordon, your thoughts before we put him under the green tomorrow afternoon?
I think it's just a fabulous place, and so much anxiety for so many of these crew chiefs and teams. The second race of this playoff round, and so much to get and so much to lose. Much like we saw today, I think there can be chaos at times, but 3-wide racing, opportunities to make things happen. Look forward to the great day we'll have tomorrow.
Will do, and all the folks here at Talladega. If you've never been here, folks, make plans to come join us at Talladega Super Speedway if you can next year or in the near future. Folks here, they're getting ready to be treated to a Jake Owen concert free of charge here in the infield at Talladega Super Speedway. We're looking forward to tomorrow, Jeff. They don't race them anywhere in the world like they do at Talladega. Our late, great leader, Barney Hall, is the one that coined that phrase, and he is right, and we think about it every time we come here.
That statement on the wall just over your left shoulder here in the Barney Hall broadcast booth, Talladega Super Speedway. Thanks to Craig Moore, audio engineer, Steve Fridley, broadcast engineer. Ryan Horn is our producer, and these people will be back tomorrow afternoon. Dave Moody will be back in his spot in 2. Mike Bagley and Dan Hubbard will take their spots in the turns on pit road with Steve Post, Jason Toy, and Dylan Welch. The crew chief will be back. His name is Todd Gordon. My broadcast partner's name is Alex Hayden. My name is Jeff Striegel. We congratulate Sammy Smith on career win number 2. He advances to the round of 8. Sammy Smith scores the win at Talladega Super Speedway in the United Reynolds 250.